In the heart of the Hidden Leaf Village, nestled amongst the bustling streets and towering buildings, lay the modest apartment of Naruto Uzumaki. The small, cluttered space was a reflection of its occupant, chaotic yet cozy, filled with the scattered remnants of a life lived with unbridled enthusiasm. Instant ramen cups, haphazardly stacked, formed precarious towers on the countertop. Scrolls and ninja tools lay strewn across the floor, a testament to the young ninja's fervent dedication to his craft. The walls were adorned with posters of legendary shinobi, their fierce gazes seeming to watch over the room's slumbering inhabitant. Naruto lay sprawled on his bed, his vibrant orange jumpsuit a stark contrast to the rumpled white sheets. The gentle rise and fall of his chest was the only movement in the otherwise still room. As the first hints of dawn crept through the tattered curtains, dust motes dancing in the slender beams, Naruto's eyelids began to twitch, signaling the start of a dream. In his mind's eye the world shifted, the drab walls of his apartment melting away to reveal an endless expanse. A soft, ethereal light suffused the space, painting it in hues of tranquil blues and soothing purples. The air hummed with an energy that was at once foreign and familiar, a pulsing undercurrent that seemed to whisper of untold possibilities. Naruto found himself standing in this boundless realm, his bare feet sinking into a surface that rippled like water yet felt solid beneath his soles. The light seemed to emanate from everywhere and nowhere, casting no shadows yet illuminating every detail with crystalline clarity. A figure emerged from the swirling mists, its form indistinct at first, like a heat haze shimmering on a summer's day. As it approached, the figure's features resolved into sharp relief, a being that was both startlingly alien and strangely recognizable. "Welcome, Naruto," the figure spoke, its voice a fusion of mechanical precision and resonant authority. "You have awakened to the gamer ability, a power that will reshape your path as a shinobi." Naruto's pulse quickened, a thrill of excitement and trepidation coursing through his veins. He opened his mouth to speak, a torrent of questions poised on the tip of his tongue, but the figure raised a hand, stemming the flow of words before they could begin. "Patience, young one," it said, a hint of amusement coloring its tone. "All will be revealed in due time. For now, let us explore the facets of this power, the tools that will aid you on your journey." The figure waved its hand, and a shimmering screen materialized before Naruto, its surface alive with shifting symbols and scrolling text. "Behold," the figure intoned, "the character stats system, the foundation upon which your growth shall be built." Naruto leaned forward, his eyes widening as he took in the array of attributes laid out before him. Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, luck, each one a pillar of his potential, a building block waiting to be shaped and honed. The figure gestured to the screen, and the attributes began to pulse with a gentle light. "These are the foundation of your power," it explained, "but they are not the entirety of it. Observe." Another wave of its hand, and the screen shifted, a new set of data coming to the forefront. "Behold the derived stats," the figure intoned, "the manifestation of your attributes in practical application." Naruto's gaze was drawn to the terms that now dominated the display: chakra capacity, chakra control, health points, health regen. Each one was accompanied by a complex formula, variables intertwined in a dance of cause and effect. "Your chakra capacity," the figure elaborated, "is the well from which you will draw your strength. It is the sum of your physical and spiritual energies, amplified by the synergy of your attributes." Naruto nodded, a flicker of understanding dawning in his eyes. "Then chakra control? That's how well I can manipulate it?" "Precisely," the figure confirmed, a note of approval in its voice. "The greater your control, the more efficiently you can wield your power, the more intricate the techniques you can master." The screen shifted again, and a new set of terms sprang into focus. "The skill system," the figure declared, "is where your true potential will be unlocked." Naruto leaned in, his attention rapt as the figure expounded on the myriad paths of growth that lay before him. "Skills are the lifeblood of your progression," it stated, "the means by which you will carve your legend into the annals of shinobi history." The screen flickered, and a cascade of skill names and descriptions flooded Naruto's vision. Taijutsu, ninjutsu, genjutsu, fuinjutsu, each one a realm of possibility, a domain waiting to be conquered. Advancing in a skill is a matter of dedication and perseverance, the figure explained, a trial of both body and mind. Each tier of mastery brings with it new powers, new avenues of growth. Naruto's heart raced as he contemplated the scope of the challenges that lay ahead. How do I know which skills to focus on? He asked, his voice tight with a mix of excitement and apprehension. The figure chuckled, a sound like the rustling of ancient parchment. That, young Naruto, is for you to discover. Your path is your own, shaped by your choices and your will. The screen shifted one final time, and a new term blazed into view: level up system. Naruto's breath caught in his throat as he read the description, the implications sending a thrill racing down his spine. Yes, the figure confirmed, sensing Naruto's unspoken realization, your growth is not merely a matter of skills and stats. It is a holistic process, a transformation of your very being. It waved its hand, and the screen disintegrated into 1,000 motes of light, each one drifting lazily through the air before fading into nothingness. With each level gained, the figure intoned, you will be granted points to allocate as you see fit, to shape your path and your power according to your vision. Naruto stood in silence for a moment, the weight of the knowledge settling upon his shoulders like a mantle of destiny. This is... He began, his voice hushed with awe, this is incredible. The figure nodded, a touch of solemnity in the gesture. It is a great gift, Git agreed, and a great responsibility. Use it wisely, Naruto Uzumaki. Let it guide you, but never let it consume you. With those final words, the figure began to fade, its form dissolving back into the swirling mists from whence it came. Remember, Git's voice echoed, growing fainter with each passing moment, the path ahead is fraught with trials and tribulations. But with this power, with the strength of your will and the purity of your heart, there is no obstacle you cannot overcome. And then it was gone, and Naruto was alone once more in the boundless expanse of the dream. But he was not unchanged. In his heart, in his very soul, a new fire had been kindled, a blaze of determination, of purpose, of unbridled potential. As the dream began to fade, the waking world reasserting its hold, Naruto clenched his fists, a grin of fierce joy spreading across his face. Believe it, he whispered, the words a vow and a challenge all in one. I'm gonna be the greatest ninja there ever was. I'm gonna make the world believe it. And with that declaration, Naruto Uzumaki opened his eyes to greet the dawn of his new life, the life of a gamer, the life of a legend in the making. The first rays of the morning sun crept through the gaps in Naruto's curtains, casting a warm glow over his whiskered face. He stirred, his eyelids fluttering open as the last vestiges of the dream faded away. But as he sat up, rubbing the sleep from his eyes, he realized that something was different. Floating in the air before him, shimmering with an otherworldly light, was a translucent window. It hovered at eye level, its borders pulsing gently as if beckoning him to interact. Naruto blinked, wondering for a moment if he was still dreaming. But the window remained solid and persistent. With a tentative hand, Naruto reached out, his fingers brushing against the cool surface of the window. It rippled at his touch, and suddenly the window expanded, revealing a wealth of information that made Naruto's eyes widen in shock. Naruto Uzumaki's level 1 stats. Strength STR 4. Dexterity Dex 4. Constitution Con 14. Intelligence IN 5. Wisdom Wis 5. Charisma Cha 5. Luck LCK 15. Derived stats. Health points HP 19. Health regeneration HR 14 HP/hour. Chakra capacity CP 220. Chakra control CC 10. Special modifiers. The question mark. Constitution increase plus 10. Health regeneration increased by 25%. Skill aptitude, special affinity for a question mark a skill. The question mark. Reputation with Konoha minus 25. Relationship with Hiruzen Sarutobi plus 50. Chakra capacity increased by 50%. Chakra control decreased by 25%. Health regeneration increased by another 25%, total 50%. The question mark. Luck increase plus 10. Bad diet. Stat penalties -1 to strength, dexterity, and constitution. Health risks, potential to develop malnutrition, inhibiting growth and development. Naruto gaped at the information before him, his mind racing as he tried to process what he was seeing. Ewo, he breathed, his voice filled with a mix of awe and confusion. Is this real? He raised a hand, poking at the window again. It responded to his touch, the stats shifting and rearranging themselves as he explored the interface. Strength, dexterity, constitution, he read aloud, his brow furrowing as he tried to make sense of the numbers. And what's with these modifiers? Bad diet? I don't have a bad diet. As if in response to his indignation, his stomach chose that moment to let out a loud growl. Naruto glanced sheepishly at the empty instant ramen cups scattered around his apartment. Okay, maybe I do, he admitted, scratching the back of his head. But I'm gonna fix that. Believe it. He turned his attention back to the window, his eyes widening as he spotted the inventory tab. With a curious tap, the window shifted, revealing a grid of empty slots. Whoa, Naruto exclaimed, a grin spreading across his face. It's like a video game. I can store stuff in here. He leaped out of bed, his earlier grogginess forgotten as he raced around his apartment, grabbing items and experimentally tapping them against the inventory window. To his delight, each item vanished with a soft pop, reappearing in one of the slots. This is so cool. Naruto crowed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. I wonder what else I can do? He spent the next several minutes exploring the interface, poking and prodding at different windows and tabs. He discovered the Skills tab, marveling at the list of potential abilities he could learn. He found the Quests tab, his heart racing at the thought of the adventures that lay before him. But as he was in the midst of examining the mapga feature, a sudden realization struck him like a thunderbolt. Yo no, he gasped, his eyes widening in horror. Today's the first day of the academy. I'm gonna be late. He leaped into action, a blur of orange as he raced around his apartment, gathering his supplies and hastily dressing himself. The gamer windows floated around him, bobbing gently in his wake as he moved. As he dashed out the door, Naruto couldn't help but grin, despite his panic. Watch out, Ninja Academy, he declared, his voice filled with determination. Naruto Uzumaki, the gamer ninja, is on his way. Believe it. And with that, he raced off into the streets of Konoha, ready to face the challenges of the day and the promise of his newfound power. Naruto raced through the bustling streets of Konoha, his feet pounding against the dirt paths as he wove his way through the morning crowd. The air was filled with a symphony of sounds and scents, the sizzle of grilled meat from food stalls, the shouts of vendors hawking their wares, the laughter of children playing in the alleys. As he ran, Naruto couldn't help but marvel at the vibrancy of his village. The colors seemed brighter, the details sharper, as if his senses had been heightened overnight. He watched in fascination as a group of shinobi leaped from rooftop to rooftop, their movements fluid and graceful. Suddenly, a shimmering window popped up in his vision, startling him so much that he nearly tripped over his own feet. Skill acquired. Perception, beginner. Your keen observations of your surroundings have unlocked the perception skill. This skill allows you to notice details and gather information more effectively. Naruto blinked, his eyes widening as he read the message. Whoa, he breathed, a grin spreading across his face. That's so cool. He focused his gaze on a nearby fruit stall, curious to test out his new ability. As he concentrated, a small window appeared next to the stall, providing a basic description of the fruits on display. Naruto frowned slightly as he realized how limited his knowledge was. He could barely name half of the fruits he saw. Guess I've got a lot to learn, he muttered, his determination growing. But that's what the academy's for, right? To learn and get stronger. With renewed enthusiasm, Naruto sprinted towards the academy, the buildings blurring past him as he ran. As he approached the courtyard, however, his steps slowed, a flicker of nervousness crossing his features. He knew he wasn't exactly popular among his peers. Apart from the old man Hokage, few people in the village had shown him genuine kindness. But today, Naruto was determined to change that. He was going to make friends no matter what. His eyes scanned the courtyard, searching for a friendly face. Most of the kids were clustered in groups, laughing and playing together. But then, Naruto spotted a boy lying alone on the grass, his hands behind his head as he gazed up at the sky. Naruto approached the boy, his heart pounding with a mix of nervousness and excitement. As he got closer, he could see that the boy was around his age, with dark, spiky hair pulled back into a ponytail and a lazy expression on his face.
Hey there.
Naruto greeted, plopping down on the grass beside the boy.
Mind if I join you?
The boy turned his head slightly, giving Naruto a nonchalant shrug. Oh, whatever, he replied, his voice drawling. Naruto paused, momentarily taken aback by the boy's lackadaisical response. But he wasn't about to give up that easily. He laid back on the grass, mimicking the boy's posture, and grinned up at the sky. I'm Naruto, by the way, he introduced himself, his voice bright and friendly. Naruto Uzumaki.
What's your name?
The boy sighed, as if the act of conversation was a great effort. Shikamaru Nara, he replied, his eyes still fixed on the clouds above. Naruto nodded, undeterred by Shikamaru's apparent lack of enthusiasm. So, what are you doing out here all by yourself? He asked, his curiosity getting the better of him. Shikamaru shrugged again, a slow movement of his shoulders. Just watching the clouds, he said, his voice tinged with a hint of wistfulness. While my friend plays ninja over there. He gestured lazily towards the field, where Naruto noticed another boy standing apart from the rest of the children. The boy was larger than most of his peers, with a round face and kind eyes that were currently downcast. Naruto frowned, his brow furrowing in concern. Hey, what's wrong with your friend? He asked, his voice filled with genuine worry. Before Shikamaru could respond, the other boy approached them, his steps heavy and his shoulders slumped. Shikamaru sat up, his expression shifting to one of concern. A Choji? He asked, his voice soft. What happened? The boy, Choji, looked up at them, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. The other kids, he said, his voice wavering. They said I was too fat to play ninja with them. Naruto felt a surge of anger and protectiveness rise within him. He leaped to his feet, his hands clenched into fists at his sides. That's stupid, he declared, his voice ringing out across the courtyard. You can be whatever you want to be, Choji. Don't listen to those jerks. Shikamaru nodded, a lazy smile spreading across his face. Naruto's right, he agreed, his voice filled with quiet support. You're perfect just the way you are, Choji. Choji looked between them, a hesitant smile beginning to form on his face. You really think so? He asked, his voice hopeful. Naruto grinned, throwing an arm around Choji's shoulders. I absolutely, he exclaimed. In fact, why don't we all play ninja together? We'll show those other kids what real friends are like. Choji's smile widened, his eyes sparkling with gratitude and excitement. Okay, he agreed, his voice filled with newfound confidence. As the three boys set off across the courtyard, ready to embark on their imaginary ninja adventures, a shimmering window popped up in Naruto's vision. Reputation update. Shikamaru Nara, +5 reputation points. Choji Akimichi, +5 reputation points. Your genuine approach and offer to include Shikamaru and Choji in your activities have positively impacted your reputation with them. Keep building these connections to strengthen your bonds and unlock new opportunities. Naruto grinned, a warm feeling spreading through his chest as he read the message. This gamer ability was already proving to be incredibly useful, not just for becoming a stronger ninja, but for making friends and building relationships. As he raced across the courtyard with Shikamaru and Choji at his side, Naruto felt a sense of belonging that he had never experienced before. For the first time in his life, he had friends, real friends who accepted him for who he was. The classroom buzzed with the excited chatter of young ninja hopefuls, their voices a cacophony of whispers and giggles that bounced off the worn wooden walls. Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji squeezed into seats at the back, their small cluster of desks creaking under their weight. The air was thick with the scent of chalk dust and fresh paper, tinged with a hint of nervousness that seemed to emanate from every student. Naruto's eyes darted around the room, taking in the faded maps of the ninja world that adorned the walls, their corners curling with age. Charts displaying basic hand signs hung nearby, the intricate finger positions seeming to dance in the flickering fluorescent light. The gentle rustle of paper and the soft scratching of pencils provided a soothing background rhythm to the anticipatory atmosphere. The sudden scrape of the door sliding open silenced the room. Irika Yumino strode in, his footsteps echoing in the sudden quiet. His presence commanded attention, yet there was a warmth in his eyes that put the students at ease. The scar across the bridge of his nose crinkled as he smiled, surveying the class with a mixture of excitement and determination. "Good morning, everyone," Iruka's voice carried clearly through the room, firm yet friendly. "I'm Iruka Umino, and I'll be your teacher on this incredible journey. Together, we'll explore the path of the ninja, uncover your unique talents, and forge the skills that will shape the future of our village." As classmates began introducing themselves one by one, Naruto found his attention drawn to small, shimmering boxes that appeared in his vision. Each time he focused on a student, a window materialized, displaying their name and basic information. "Oh whoa," Naruto whispered, his eyes wide with wonder. "This is gonna be a lifesaver. No more forgetting names and looking like an idiot." Shikamaru, noticing Naruto's amazement, raised an eyebrow. "What's got you so excited?" he murmured, his tone a mix of curiosity and mild exasperation. Naruto grinned, barely containing his enthusiasm. "Yo, nothing. Just thinking about all the cool stuff we're gonna learn." Throughout the morning, Naruto found himself dismissing a flurry of perception level up notifications that popped up in his peripheral vision. It seemed his heightened awareness was honing his observational skills without conscious effort. As the day progressed, however, Naruto's initial excitement began to wane. The history lesson dragged on, the droning recitation of clan names and treaty dates causing his eyelids to grow heavy. His mind wandered to dreams of mastering powerful jutsu and embarking on daring missions. "Uzumaki Naruto," Iruka's voice cut through his daydream like a kunai. "Can you tell us about the original ceasefire between the Uchiha and Senju clans?" Naruto's heart leaped into his throat, panic rising in his chest. He gripped his textbook, knuckles white, desperately wishing he had paid attention. Just as he opened his mouth to stammer an excuse, a series of windows flashed before his eyes. "Skillbook found. Absorbing skill. Skill unlocked. Knowledge history, beginner skill leveled up. Knowledge history plus 100 calculating for unknown question. Knowledge history times int versus DC 250 history check, passed." To his astonishment, Naruto felt knowledge flowing into his mind like water. Words formed on his tongue, and he heard himself speaking with unexpected confidence. "The ceasefire between the Uchiha and Senju clans," Naruto began, his voice steady and clear, "marked a pivotal moment in our village's history. It laid the foundation for the creation of the Hidden Leaf Village, uniting these powerful clans under a shared vision of peace and stability. This alliance not only ended years of conflict but also set the stage for the collaborative spirit that defines Konoha to this day." A hushed silence fell over the classroom. Iruka's eyebrows shot up, his expression a mixture of surprise and pride. That's absolutely correct, Naruto. Well done. Your understanding of this crucial event is impressive." Naruto's cheeks burned with a mix of embarrassment and pride. He snuck a glance at Shikamaru and Choji, finding their faces mirroring his own shock. "Looks like you've been holding out on us," Shikamaru whispered, a hint of a smile tugging at his lips. Choji nodded enthusiastically, his eyes wide. "Yeah, Naruto. That was amazing." Another notification appeared in Naruto's view. Reputation update. Iruka Umino, +5 reputation points. Asterisk, your correct answer and participation in class have positively impacted your reputation with Iruka. Keep engaging and showing your potential, asterisk. Naruto's cheeks flushed with a mix of pride and astonishment. He glanced at his new friends, Shikamaru and Choji, who looked back with expressions of mild shock and respect. This gamer ability was really something else, he thought. Maybe, just maybe, he could really excel here. The Ninja Academy buzzed with energy as students filed into the various training areas, their excited chatter echoing off the walls. Naruto bounced from foot to foot, barely containing his excitement as he entered the Taijutsu dojo. The polished wooden floor creaked under his feet, and the scent of sweat and determination hung in the air. Their instructor, a battle-scarred jounin with piercing eyes, barked out commands as students paired off. "Remember, form is everything. A sloppy stance will get you killed in the field." Naruto found himself facing Sasuke, the class prodigy. The dark-haired boy's eyes narrowed, a hint of a smirk on his lips. "Try to keep up, dead last," Sasuke taunted. "Oh yeah? I'll show you who's dead last." Naruto shot back, his fists clenching. As they began sparring, Naruto's movements were a whirlwind of energy but lacked precision. He threw punch after punch, each missing its mark as Sasuke effortlessly dodged. Frustration building, Naruto overextended on a wild haymaker, losing his balance. Sasuke capitalized instantly, sweeping Naruto's legs out from under him. The impact knocked the wind from Naruto's lungs, leaving him gasping on the floor. Uzumaki, the instructor's voice boomed. Your enthusiasm is admirable, but without control it's useless. Watch closely. The Jounin demonstrated the proper form, his movements fluid and precise. Naruto's eyes widened, drinking in every detail. As he stood to try again, a notification flashed before his eyes. Skill acquired. Basic Taijutsu beginner. A grin spread across Naruto's face, his earlier frustration forgotten. All right. Just you wait, Sasuke. Next time you're going down. Sasuke rolled his eyes, but Naruto caught a glimmer of something, perhaps respect, in his rival's gaze. The day continued with a ninjutsu class focused on chakra control. Students lined the walls, leaves pressed against the surface as they struggled to maintain the connection. Naruto's leaf kept fluttering to the ground, much to his dismay. Concentrate, Naruto, Iruka-sensei encouraged, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. Feel the energy flowing through you. Imagine it as a steady stream, not a raging river. Naruto closed his eyes, picturing the chakra as Iruka described. He felt a warmth building in his core, spreading through his body. The leaf quivered against the wall, then stuck. 1 second passed, then 2, then. It fell, but Naruto's eyes shone with determination. Did you see that, Iruka-sensei? It stayed up way longer that time. Iruka nodded, a proud smile on his face. Keep at it, Naruto. You're improving with every attempt. Skill up. Chakra control improved. The afternoon brought a lecture on sealing jutsu, a topic that initially had Naruto's eyes glazing over. The instructor droned on about complex symbols and their applications, filling the blackboard with intricate diagrams. Man, this is boring, Shikamaru muttered from beside Naruto. What a drag. Naruto was inclined to agree, until a particular symbol caught his eye. It seemed to pulse with an inner light, drawing his attention. As he focused, the complexity began to unravel, revealing layers of meaning. Whoa, Naruto breathed. Did you see that, Shikamaru? It's like it's alive. Shikamaru raised an eyebrow. What are you talking about? It's just a bunch of squiggles. But to Naruto, the squiggles were transforming into a language he could almost understand. Each stroke held purpose, power waiting to be unleashed. Skill acquired. Basic sealing techniques, beginner. The day's final lesson focused on stealth and weapon accuracy. Students practiced moving silently through an obstacle course while targeting distant bullseyes with shuriken. Naruto's first attempt was less than stellar. He tripped over a root, sending leaves scattering and alerting everyone to his position. His shuriken throw went wide, embedding itself in a tree trunk far from the target. Laughter erupted from his classmates, but Naruto set his jaw, determined to improve. With each run through the course, his movements became smoother, his throws more accurate. Skill acquired. Concealment, beginner skill acquired. Shuriken Jutsu, beginner. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and purples, Naruto lingered on the academy grounds. His muscles ached, but a fire burned in his chest, a mixture of pride and determination. Iruka approached, his expression warm. You've made real progress today, Naruto. How do you feel? Naruto's grin was infectious. Amazing, Iruka-sensei. I learned so much, and I can't wait to learn even more tomorrow. I'm gonna be the best ninja this village has ever seen, believe it. Iruka chuckled, ruffling Naruto's hair. With that attitude, I don't doubt it. Get some rest, you've earned it. As Naruto walked home, his mind raced with possibilities. The gamer system had turned every lesson into an adventure, every challenge into an opportunity. He may not be at the top of the class yet, but he was improving, growing stronger with each passing day. Watch out, world, Naruto whispered to himself, his eyes fixed on the Hokage monument looming above the village. Naruto Uzumaki is on his way to the top and nothing's gonna stop me. As the midday sun reached its zenith the following day, casting a warm glow over the academy, Naruto found himself amidst the bustling chaos of lunchtime. The courtyard was alive with the energetic chatter and laughter of his fellow students, each group absorbed in their own world. Naruto, with a wide grin that seemed almost too big for his face, navigated through the sea of students, his eyes scanning for familiar faces. He approached a cluster of his classmates, their conversation a mix of recent ninja lessons and village gossip. Clutching a bento box that contained nothing more than a couple of hastily made rice balls, Naruto launched into the group with a boisterous greeting, trying to recall the social tips he'd gleaned from a scroll discarded in a dusty corner of the library.
Hey everyone!
What's the chatter about today? He asked, his voice brimming with an eagerness that was uniquely his. The response was a mix of surprised looks and polite smiles, the group momentarily thrown off by Naruto's sudden intrusion. Naruto, undeterred, plowed ahead with a story about his latest attempt at a transformation jutsu, complete with exaggerated hand gestures and sound effects. The story, a wild tale involving a mischievous fox and a very confused cat, was filled with awkward tangents and improbable twists. Yet, it was Naruto's animated delivery and infectious laugh that gradually thawed the initial awkwardness, drawing a few chuckles and amused glances from his audience. Spurred on by this minor victory, Naruto turned his attention to two of his more elusive classmates, Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. Sasuke, with his brooding demeanor and air of mystery, had always been an enigma to Naruto. Sakura, with her bright eyes and infatuation with Sasuke, was a puzzle of a different sort. Naruto sauntered over, his grin undiminished.
Hey Sasuke!
Sakura! Did you guys hear about the time he began, only to be met with Sasuke's cool, indifferent stare and Sakura's distracted gaze, her attention firmly fixed on Sasuke. Naruto's story about his latest prank, which involved strategically placed water balloons and an unsuspecting teacher, fell on mostly deaf ears. Sakura sighed dreamily at something Sasuke muttered, while Sasuke himself seemed more interested in the contents of his lunch than Naruto's antics. The brief flicker of disappointment in Naruto's eyes was quickly replaced by a shrug and a self-deprecating chuckle.
Well, maybe next time, huh? He said, more to himself than to them, before spinning on his heel.
Retreating from the duo, Naruto found solace in the company of his new friends, Shikamaru and Choji. The trio sat under the shade of a large tree, their lunch spread out before them. Shikamaru was lazily watching the clouds, a peaceful expression on his face, while Choji was happily munching on a large bag of chips. Naruto launched into a retelling of his morning adventures, his voice lively and his hands painting the air with his words. Shikamaru offered the occasional lazy comment, and Choji laughed heartily at all the right moments. In their company, Naruto felt a sense of belonging, a warmth that eased the sting of his earlier social misadventures. Lunchtime passed in a blur of stories, shared snacks, and laughter. Naruto found himself grateful for these moments, these simple joys of friendship that made all the challenges of academy life seem worthwhile. As the bell rang, signaling the end of their break, Naruto stood up, a renewed sense of determination in his step. He might not have won over everyone, but he had friends who understood him, and for now, that was more than enough. The ancient oak in the academy's courtyard creaked softly in the afternoon breeze, its gnarled branches casting a dappled shadow over Naruto as he leaned against its rough trunk. The air was heavy with the scent of sun-warmed grass and distant flowers, a stark contrast to the tension coiled in Naruto's muscles. He closed his eyes, letting the gentle susurration of leaves wash over him, trying to calm his racing thoughts. Suddenly, a familiar chime broke the tranquility. Naruto's eyes snapped open to see a shimmering window hovering before him. Quest received, learn the substitution jutsu. His heart raced with excitement and apprehension. The substitution jutsu, a cornerstone technique for any aspiring ninja. In theory, it seemed straightforward, swap places with a nearby object to evade attacks. In practice? Well, that was what he was about to find out. Naruto jumped to his feet, his earlier weariness forgotten.
All right.
Time to show everyone what Naruto Uzumaki can do, he declared to the empty courtyard, pumping his fist in the air. He jogged to a secluded corner of the training grounds, where weathered wooden dummies stood sentinel among scattered logs and debris perfect for substitution practice. The earthy smell of old wood and freshly turned soil filled his nostrils as he took his stance.
Okay, focus, Naruto muttered, closing his eyes and trying to visualize his chakra. He imagined it as a swirling blue energy flowing through his body like a river. Just gotta direct it and... He opened his eyes, made the hand signs, and pushed his chakra outward. For a heart-stopping moment, he felt a tingle of something. Then, instead of smoothly switching places with a nearby log, he found himself stumbling forward, face-planting into the dirt. Thou! Stupid jutsu! Naruto grumbled, spitting out grass and rubbing his sore nose. Having trouble, dead last? A familiar voice drawled. Sasuke Uchiha stood at the edge of the training ground, arms crossed, a smirk playing on his lips. Naruto felt his cheeks burn with embarrassment and anger. None of your business, Sasuke. I'll master this jutsu in no time, believe it. Sasuke's smirk widened. As sure you will. Just like you've mastered everything else, right? As Sasuke walked away, Naruto clenched his fists. I'll show him, he muttered. I'll show everyone. With renewed determination, Naruto threw himself into his training. Hours passed in a blur of sweat, bruises, and increasingly creative curses. The sun arced across the sky, painting the training ground in ever-shifting hues of gold and amber. Each failure brought a new lesson. Too little chakra and nothing happened. Too much and he'd find himself dizzy and disoriented. He learned to feel the ebb and flow of his energy, to direct it with increasing precision. As twilight approached, casting long shadows across the field, exhaustion began to take its toll. Naruto's limbs felt like lead, his chakra reserves running dangerously low. But still he persevered. One more time, he panted, wiping sweat from his brow. I can do this. He closed his eyes, reaching deep within himself for that last spark of energy. He felt it, a tiny flame of chakra, guttering but not extinguished. With every ounce of concentration he could muster, Naruto molded that chakra, shaping it to his will. The world seemed to shift around him. For a moment, Naruto felt weightless, suspended between 2 points in space. Then, with a soft pop, he opened his eyes to find himself standing where the log had been just moments before. Die! I did it? Naruto blinked in disbelief. Then, as realization dawned, a grin spread across his face. I did it. I really did it. His jubilant shout echoed across the now empty training grounds. As if in response, 2 notifications appeared. Skill acquired, substitution technique 100 XP earned. Naruto's heart soared. He had done it, mastered a fundamental ninja technique through sheer determination and hard work. The aches in his muscles, the scrapes on his hands, even the lingering sting of Sasuke's taunts, all of it faded away in the warm glow of accomplishment. As he made his way back to the main academy building, his steps light despite his exhaustion, Naruto's mind raced with possibilities. What other jutsu could he master? How much stronger could he become? Oh, watch out, Sasuke, Naruto whispered, his eyes fixed on the Hokage monument in the distance. I'm catching up. And one day I'll be up there too. That's a promise. The flickering glow of a small desk lamp cast dancing shadows across Naruto's cramped apartment. The air was thick with the lingering scent of instant ramen and the musty odor of old scrolls. Naruto sat cross-legged on his bed, the springs creaking softly beneath him as he leaned forward, eyes fixed intently on the shimmering interface hovering in the air before him. His fingers trembled slightly as he navigated through the gamer system's menus, the excitement of reaching level 2 still buzzing through his veins like electricity. Each tap revealed new layers of information, peeling back the mysteries of his unique abilities. Whoa, Naruto breathed, his blue eyes wide with wonder as he focused on the special modifiers section. This is huge. The first modifier, still shrouded in mystery, caught his attention. The question mark. Constitution increase, plus 10. Health regeneration, increased by 25%. Skill aptitude, special affinity for a question mark a skill. Naruto's brow furrowed in concentration. A constitution, that's like, how tough I am, right? And health regeneration. A grin spread across his face as realization dawned. No wonder I always heal up so fast after training. But it was the mention of Fuinjutsu that really piqued his interest. Memories of the ceiling class flooded back,
the way the symbols had seemed to dance before his eyes, almost calling out to him. Fuinjutsu. Naruto murmured, tasting the word. The old man once said the fourth Hokage was a master of sealing techniques. If I could learn that. His eyes drifted to the poster of the fourth on his wall, imagination running wild with possibilities. A soft knock at his door startled Naruto from his reverie. Naruto? Are you still awake? Iruka's concerned voice called from the hallway. Yeah. Just a second, Iruka-sensei. Naruto quickly dismissed the interface and scrambled to the door, opening it to reveal his teacher's worried face. Iruka's eyes swept the messy apartment, his expression softening. I wanted to check on you after today's training. You pushed yourself pretty hard. Naruto rubbed the back of his head, grinning sheepishly. Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm feeling great, actually. Just thinking about some stuff. Iruka raised an eyebrow. Oh? What kind of stuff? For a moment, Naruto considered telling Iruka about the gamer system, about the incredible insights he'd gained. But something held him back. Just ninja stuff, you know? Thinking about what kind of techniques I want to learn next. Iruka's face broke into a proud smile. It's good to see you so focused, Naruto. Just don't forget to rest, okay? A tired ninja is a dangerous ninja to himself and his team. After Iruka left, Naruto returned to his examination of the modifiers, his teacher's words echoing in his mind. The second modifier painted a more complex picture. The question marked. Reputation with Konoha -25. Relationship with Hiruzen Sarutobi +50. Chakra capacity increased by 50%. Chakra control decreased by 25%. Naruto's heart sank as he read the reputation penalty. The cold stares, the whispered comments, it all made a painful kind of sense now. But the boost to his relationship with the old man brought a smile back to his face. Whatever this mystery was, at least he had one powerful ally in his corner. Huge chakra capacity, huh? Naruto mused, flexing his fingers. He could almost feel the energy coursing through him, wild and untamed. I guess that's why my jutsus tend to go a little overboard. The third modifier was simpler, but no less intriguing. The question marked. Luck increase +10. Naruto couldn't help but chuckle. Luckier than I thought, huh? Maybe that's how I've survived all my pranks. But it was the final modifier that gave him pause. Bad diet. Stat penalties, -1 to strength, dexterity, and constitution. Health risks, potential to develop malnutrition, inhibiting growth and development. Naruto's stomach growled as if on cue. He glanced guiltily at the empty ramen cups littering his small kitchen area. "Ah man," he groaned. "I guess I really do need to start eating better." But ramen. The conflict between his love for his favorite food and his desire to grow stronger was almost physically painful. Naruto flopped back on his bed, staring at the ceiling as he considered his options. "Okay, compromise," he declared to the empty room. I'll try to eat more vegetables. And maybe some of that gross milk Iruka-sensei is always going on about. But I'm not giving up ramen entirely. No way. The gamer interface hovered before him, displaying a comprehensive breakdown of his skills and newly acquired level. He couldn't help but grin as he began to analyze each skill in detail. "Alright, let's see what we've got here," he muttered, eyes gleaming in the dim light. Ninjutsu, beginner, 200 to 250 points, wow, almost to intermediate. All those practice sessions are really paying off. Substitution technique, 100 out of 1000 points, still a long way to go, but hey, I can actually do it now. That's progress. Bukajutsu, beginner, 100 out of 250 points, guess all that kunai and shuriken practice is adding up. Gotta keep at it. Perception, beginner, 150 out of 250 points, this one's new. Must be from all the observation exercises Iruka-sensei's been making us do. Fuinjutsu, beginner, 150 to 250 points, whoa, this one's moving fast. Maybe it's because of that special modifier. I should definitely focus more on this. Teamwork, beginner, 100 out of 250 points,
And they said I couldn't work with others. Take that, doubters. Knowledge, history, beginner, 100 out of 250 points. You never thought I'd say this, but history's actually kinda interesting when you can see how it all fits together. Knowledge, geography, beginner, 100/250 points. The maps used to be so boring, but now I can see how important they are for missions. Gotta study more. Naruto's eyes widened as he realized the total skill points amounted to 1,000. That's why I leveled up, he exclaimed, barely remembering to keep his voice down. And it only took about a week. If I can keep this pace up? He shook his head in amazement. Level 2. And I get to add stat points. Naruto's brow furrowed in concentration as he considered his options. Okay, I've got 3 points to allocate. I could boost my physical stats to be stronger in fights, but that bad diet modifier is holding me back there. Maybe I should focus on areas it doesn't affect? After several minutes of deliberation, Naruto made his decision. Alright, 1 point each to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. I need to get smarter to learn jutsus faster, and better chakra control will help with everything. Plus, if I'm gonna be Hokage someday, I need people to like me, right? With a determined nod, Naruto applied the stat points, watching as his character sheet updated before his eyes. Tomorrow, he yawned, finally feeling the weight of the day's exertions. I'll start working even harder. I'll eat better, train smarter, and become the best ninja this village has ever seen. Believe it. During a bustling afternoon at the Ninja Academy, Naruto found a moment to share his progress with Iruka, reflecting the intertwining of his skill development and growing relationships. Naruto approached Iruka, who was meticulously organizing scrolls. Despite his nervous energy, Naruto's eyes shone with accomplishment. Iruka-sensei, he began, a hint of pride in his voice, I've been practicing the substitution jutsu. You know, the one you emphasized last week. Iruka looked up, his expression shifting from concentration to curiosity. The substitution jutsu? That's a tricky one for beginners. How are you managing, Naruto? With a grin, Naruto replied, it was tough at first. I couldn't get the timing right and well, I bumped into a few things. He rubbed the back of his head, recalling his initial fumbles. But I kept at it, practiced a lot. And now, I can do it without crashing. Iruka's chuckle resonated with warmth and a hint of pride. That's great to hear, Naruto. The substitution jutsu requires quick reflexes and sharp focus. It's a key skill for a shinobi to master. Naruto's chest swelled with pride, his determination evident. Yeah, and I even used it to dodge a water balloon during one of our training exercises with Shikamaru and Choji. Iruka raised an eyebrow, a smile playing on his lips. Is that so? Well, as long as you're applying what you learn, Naruto. But remember, the true test of these skills comes in real situations, not just pranks. Naruto nodded earnestly, his earlier mischief giving way to genuine resolve. I understand, Iruka-sensei. I want to be more than just a prankster. I'm going to use what I learned to become a great ninja. Watching Naruto's earnest expression, Iruka saw more than just the Academy's notorious troublemaker. Before him stood a young ninja in the making, brimming with potential. I believe in you, Naruto. Keep pushing yourself. As Naruto turned to rejoin his friends, his gamer interface signaled a boost in his rapport with Iruka. Reputation with Iruka increased by 10 points. The notification was more than just a digital affirmation, it was a sign of his evolving role in the academy and the growing respect from his mentor. Buoyed by Iruka's words, Naruto joined Shikamaru and Choji for their usual lunchtime gathering under their favorite tree. Shikamaru was lying on his back, hands behind his head, gazing at the clouds, while Choji was unpacking an assortment of snacks. Hey guys! Naruto greeted, plopping down beside them. Guess what? Iruka-sensei said I'm improving. Shikamaru cracked one eye open, a lazy smile on his face. That's great, Naruto. But if you keep improving, you might actually have to start taking things seriously. Choji laughed, offering Naruto a bag of chips. Yeah, Naruto, imagine that. You serious? Naruto grabbed a chip, grinning. Hey, I can be serious. Just watch, I'll be the top of the class before you know it.
The trio spent their lunch break in easy conversation, sharing stories and laughter. Naruto's antics often led them into all sorts of misadventures, but it was these moments that cemented their friendship. Whether it was an impromptu race across the village rooftops or an experiment with a new jutsu that invariably went awry, Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji were inseparable. Their camaraderie wasn't lost on their classmates either. Over time, the whispers and stares that often followed Naruto around began to change. Where there was once wariness and distance, there were now glimpses of curiosity and even admiration. Naruto's relentless spirit, his unwavering commitment to improve, and his genuine kindness were slowly reshaping how the others saw him. As Naruto lay back, joining Shikamaru in cloud gazing, he couldn't help but feel content. His journey at the academy was not just about becoming a ninja, it was about building friendships, earning respect, and finding his place in a world that had often seemed so distant. And with each passing day, he was getting closer to achieving all three. The air of the Ninja Academy buzzed with an unusual energy on the day of the team exercise. Iruka, understanding the importance of cooperation in the life of a shinobi, had carefully planned an exercise that would challenge his students' ability to work together. He gathered the class in the main training hall, a spacious room lined with weapons and training gear. Today, Iruka announced, we'll focus on teamwork. You'll be working in trios, and your task is to navigate through an obstacle course, using your skills and coordination to overcome each challenge. Excitement rippled through the students, mixed with a hint of nervous anticipation. Naruto's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. This was his chance to prove his growth and to shine alongside his friends. Iruka began assigning the teams, and Naruto was paired with Shikamaru and Choji. The trio, each a unique character in their own right, exchanged glances, Naruto's brimming with excitement, Shikamaru's carrying a hint of resignation, and Choji's filled with a quiet determination. The obstacle course was a series of challenges designed to test not just physical prowess but also strategic thinking and adaptability. The first challenge was a maze of hanging ropes and platforms requiring careful coordination and balance. Naruto, ever the dynamo, dashed ahead, calling out, "Hey, come on, guys! This will be easy." His enthusiasm, however, led to a hasty misstep, and he almost tumbled off a platform. Shikamaru, sighing, extended a hand, steadying Naruto with a well-timed pull. "Remember, Naruto, this is about teamwork, not individual strength," he said in his usual drawl. Choji, more measured in his approach, carefully navigated the ropes, his eyes constantly on his teammates, ready to offer support. The trio began to find a rhythm, their movements becoming more synchronized as they progressed through the maze. The next challenge was a series of puzzles that required mental agility. Shikamaru took the lead here, his strategic mind quickly deciphering the patterns and guiding his teammates through. Naruto, not one for patience, tried to rush through the puzzles, only to be reined in by Shikamaru's calm instructions and Choji's gentle reminders to focus. The final challenge was a simulated combat scenario against training dummies. Here, Naruto's skills shone. He darted around with agility, striking the dummies with precision. Shikamaru provided tactical support, directing Naruto and Choji to flank and distract. Choji, using his strength, held the line, keeping the dummies at bay. As they neared the end of the course, their initial awkwardness had given way to a cohesive unit. They moved with a shared purpose, their strengths complementing each other. The final bell rang, signaling the end of the exercise, and the trio stopped, panting and sweating but grinning broadly. Iruka, observing from the sidelines, nodded in approval. "A well done team," he called out. "You've shown that despite your differences, you can work together effectively." As they walked off the training field, Naruto felt a surge of pride. They might have been a team of misfits, but together, they had overcome the challenges. He realized that being a great ninja wasn't just about individual skill, it was about being part of something bigger, about collaboration and mutual support. The dawn of a new day at the Ninja Academy was always a promise of learning and challenges, but today, an air of heightened excitement permeated the corridors. Whispers and rumors had been circulating about a special exercise, a practical test that would push the students beyond the confines of the classroom. Naruto, ever eager for adventure, felt a buzz of anticipation as he made his way to class. The classroom was abuzz with speculation as students gathered, their conversations a blend of excitement and mild apprehension. Iruka stood at the front, his demeanor serious but encouraging.
Beside him lay a rolled-up map and a stack of papers that held the details of the day's challenge. "Today, we will be conducting a survival exercise in one of our training grounds," Iruka announced, unfurling the map to reveal a sprawling area marked with various terrains, a small forest, a river, and several clearings. "This exercise is designed to test everything you've learned so far, both in terms of your individual skills and your ability to work as a team." Naruto leaned forward, his eyes studying the map with keen interest. The training ground, though not as notorious as the Forest of Death, was known for its challenging layout and the variety of natural obstacles it presented. Iruka continued, assigning the students into teams. Naruto found himself paired once again with Shikamaru and Choji, a trio that had proven to be effective despite their contrasting personalities. "Your task," Iruka explained, "is to retrieve a flag from a specific location within the training ground. But it's not just about reaching the flag, you'll need to overcome obstacles, avoid traps, and potentially face off against dummy opponents." Excitement rippled through Naruto. This was more than a lesson, it was a real test, a quest that seemed tailor-made for his gamer abilities. He glanced at Shikamaru and Choji, seeing a similar spark of determination in their eyes. As the class prepared to depart, Naruto's gamer interface flickered to life, adding another layer to his anticipation. "New quest, retrieve the flag, training ground survival." The words hovered before him, pulsating with a challenge that set his heart racing. On the way to the training ground, Naruto's mind was abuzz with strategies and tactics. This was his opportunity to bring together all the skills he had honed, his improved taijutsu, his burgeoning understanding of ninjutsu, and the teamwork dynamics he had developed with Shikamaru and Choji. Standing at the edge of the training ground, the trio surveyed the terrain. The forest loomed ahead, dense and shadowy, while the river glistened under the morning sun. Naruto took a deep breath, feeling the thrill of the challenge. "You all right, let's do this," Naruto exclaimed, his voice a mix of excitement and resolve. "We'll need to be smart, fast, and work together to get that flag." Shikamaru, with a characteristic sigh, adjusted his ponytail. "Let's try to get this done with minimal effort," he quipped, though the glint in his eye betrayed his own excitement. Choji, ever the steady presence, nodded in agreement. "We've got this," he said, his usual calmness underlined with confidence. With a nod from Iruka, the teams dashed into the training ground, each disappearing into the landscape with their strategies and hopes. Naruto, leading his team, felt every sense heighten, every nerve tingle with readiness. This was it, a real test of his abilities, a chance to prove his growth and potential. And he was ready for it. As the trio ventured into the training ground, the challenges they faced were as diverse as the terrain itself. The first obstacle was a series of rope bridges spanning a narrow but deep chasm. Naruto, eager to take the lead, started across with his usual enthusiasm, only to be cautioned by Shikamaru. "Hold on, Naruto. Let's check the ropes first." "They might be trapped," Shikamaru advised, his eyes scanning the bridge with a tactical gaze. Choji, carrying an assortment of tools and supplies in his pack, nodded in agreement. Carefully, they tested each rope, finding and disarming a few hidden snares set up by Iruka as part of the exercise. Working together, they crossed the chasm safely, their cautious approach paying off. Next, they navigated through a densely wooded area where the shadows seemed to move and the slightest sound could be a hint of a trap. Here, Naruto's improved perception skill came into play. He could almost feel the traps before he saw them, guiding his teammates through the forest with a newfound confidence. "A good job, Naruto," Choji complimented, following closely behind. They soon reached the clearing where the flag was located, but it was guarded by dummy opponents, other academy students wearing padded armor. Shikamaru quickly devised a plan, using Naruto's agility and Choji's strength to their advantage. Naruto darted around the clearing, drawing the attention of the dummies, while Choji used his size to block and tackle. Shikamaru, meanwhile, directed their movements, finding openings and weaknesses in their opponent's defense. The battle was intense but brief. Naruto and Choji, under Shikamaru's guidance, executed the plan flawlessly. With a final, well-coordinated effort, they secured the flag, the dummies unable to stop their coordinated assault. As they stood in the clearing, the flag in their hands, a sense of accomplishment filled the air. They had done it, they had worked together as a team and overcome the challenges set before them. Suddenly, Naruto's gamer interface flashed with notifications. Quest complete. Training ground survival, successfully retrieve the flag. Rewards asterisk. 100 teamwork XP. Reputation with Shikamaru plus 20. Reputation with Choji plus 20. Reputation with Iruka plus 20. Reputation with the rest of the academy plus 5. Naruto beamed with pride reading the notifications. Oh, we did it, guys. And check this out, we all got a boost in reputation. Shikamaru grinned, a rare sight. Oh well, whatever that means. I guess even your crazy ideas work out sometimes, Naruto. Choji chuckled. That was fun. Let's do it again sometime. As they made their way back to where Iruka was waiting with the rest of the class, Naruto felt a surge of pride and camaraderie. He had proven not only to himself but to everyone that he was capable of great things when he worked together with his friends. Iruka greeted them with a smile, clearly impressed. Well done, Team 7. You showed excellent teamwork and strategy. The rest of the class looked on, some with admiration, others with newfound respect. Naruto's reputation among his peers had certainly improved, and he could feel the change in their attitudes. As they left the training ground, Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji shared a moment of triumph, their bond strengthened by the challenges they had faced together. Naruto knew that this was just the beginning of his adventures, but with friends like these at his side, he was ready for anything. As the twilight hues of dusk gave way to the velvety darkness of night, Naruto lay in his modest bed in his small apartment, his gaze fixed on the ceiling where shadows played a silent dance. The room was quiet, save for the distant hum of Konoha at night, a lullaby of gentle winds, rustling leaves, and the occasional distant laughter of villagers enjoying the evening's peace. There, in the stillness of his room, Naruto found himself in a reflective state. The end of his first year at the academy marked not just the passage of time, but the growth he had undergone. He thought about the boy he was when he first stepped into the academy, eager, yes, but untested and unsure. Now he lay there, stronger not just in body but in spirit, a shinobi in the making. He had faced challenges that once seemed insurmountable, from mastering new jutsus to understanding the delicate dynamics of teamwork. Each obstacle had been a stepping stone, each failure a lesson, and each success a sweet triumph. He had made friends, true friends like Shikamaru and Choji, who had stood by him through thick and thin, sharing in his adventures and misadventures alike. Outside his window, the village of Konoha was a tapestry of light and shadow under the starlit sky. The Hokage monument loomed in the distance, the faces of the great leaders carved into the stone, a constant reminder of Naruto's ultimate dream. The streets were quiet but alive with the essence of the village's spirit, resilient, enduring, and ever vibrant. Naruto's thoughts drifted to the respect he had begun to earn from his peers and teachers. The journey had not been easy, the path had been strewn with hurdles, some placed by others, many by himself. Yet, with each day, with each display of his unwavering will and burgeoning abilities, he had slowly changed the perceptions of those around him. He was no longer just the orphan, the prankster, or the troublemaker. He was Naruto Uzumaki, a name that was beginning to mean something more in the leafy avenues and bustling marketplaces of Konoha. A smile played on his lips as he closed his eyes, his heart full of aspirations. His dreams were vivid and bold, filled with visions of future adventures and challenges that awaited him. He saw himself facing formidable foes, exploring unknown lands, and perhaps, most importantly, earning the title of Hokage, not for the glory it brought, but for the chance to protect and lead the village he loved. In the quiet of his room, as the night deepened, a faint notification appeared in his vision, perception level up, and then faded away, as ephemeral as a shooting star. It was a silent affirmation of his ongoing journey, a journey that was far from over. Naruto Uzumaki, the boy with dreams as vast as the night sky, drifted into sleep, his spirit at peace yet alight with an unquenchable thirst for the adventures that lay ahead. Konoha, with its twinkling lights and whispered secrets, watched over him, a village, a home, a starting point of a legend yet to be written. The morning sun peeked through the curtains, bathing Naruto Uzumaki's small room in a warm, golden light. As he woke on this significant day, the first of his final year at the Ninja Academy, a mix of nostalgia and excitement stirred within him. He lay in bed for a moment, lost in thought, reflecting on the journey that had brought him here. His years at the academy had been transformative. He remembered vividly the quests he had undertaken,
some were simple favors for the villagers, tasks that had embedded him deeper into the fabric of Konoha. Others were challenges set by the gamer system, each one a puzzle that honed his skills and strategic thinking. Then there were the quests designed to build his reputation among his classmates, transforming him from the infamous prankster to a ninja of burgeoning renown. Despite these triumphs, Naruto couldn't shake off a feeling of frustration. He had reached a plateau in several skills, their progress halted at tantalizing caps. Advanced stages of techniques like basic taijutsu, chakra control, and even the recently mastered basic fuinjutsu loomed just beyond his current grasp. He knew these higher stages were within reach, but unlocking them required experience and knowledge that transcended the academy's teachings. Shaking off the covers, Naruto stood and stretched, his body a testament to the physical rigor of his training. He moved to the small, slightly tarnished mirror in his room and began his morning routine. As he brushed his teeth, his mind wandered to the skills he had polished and those he yearned to master. Almost instinctively, he summoned his stats screen, a familiar holographic display that had become an integral part of his daily life. Naruto Uzumaki level 10. Strength 20. Dexterity 22. Constitution 25. Intelligence 18. Wisdom 17. Charisma 15. Luck 23. Skills at cap *. Basic taijutsu intermediate capped. Chakra control intermediate capped. Transformation jutsu intermediate capped. Basic fuinjutsu intermediate capped. Perception advanced capped. Quests completed 57. Derived stats modified by special qualities. Health points HP 105 modified by increased constitution. Health regeneration HR 75 HP/hour enhanced due to special modifiers. Chakra capacity CP 562 boosted significantly by modifiers. Chakra control CC 17.5 affected by modifiers. Gazing at his reflection, Naruto saw the changes not just in his physical appearance, but in his eyes, a depth of resolve and maturity that had grown over the years. Gone was the impulsive boy who had first walked into the academy, in his place stood a young shinobi ready to embrace the final year of his training. He dressed in his academy uniform, each movement filled with a sense of purpose. This final year was not just another set of lessons, it was the culmination of all his hard work and growth. As he stepped outside, the vibrant life of Konoha greeted him, the bustling streets, the familiar faces, and the hidden paths he had yet to explore. Walking towards the academy, Naruto felt a sense of pride in how far he had come. He had faced challenges and surpassed limits he once thought impossible. And as he crossed the threshold of the academy, he was keenly aware that this year was not an end, but a gateway to a future filled with adventures, trials, and the endless journey of a shinobi. This was his dawn, the beginning of the final chapter of his academy days, and Naruto was ready to make every moment count. The classroom was a hive of activity as Iruka-sensei announced the day's group exercise. Naruto, paired with Kiba and Shikamaru, was bubbling with enthusiasm. "This is gonna be epic," he declared, met with Shikamaru's nonchalant nod and Kiba's grin. Assigned to create a model of a chakra network, their collaboration quickly spiraled into a whirlwind of chaos. Naruto's boundless energy, Kiba's unorthodox ideas, and Shikamaru's strategic but laid-back approach turned the educational project into a vibrant mess. Paper and glue flew in all directions, while spilled ink added an artistic flair to the classroom floor. "Maybe we overdid it a bit," Naruto remarked, observing the colorful disaster they had wrought. Shikamaru, lazily wiping a streak of paint from his face, responded dryly, "A bit? This looks like a paint store exploded." Kiba, trying to untangle himself from a string of papier-mâché, chuckled, "Hey, at least it's unique, right?" Their cleanup efforts were set into motion by the telltale sound of the door handle turning. Iruka was on his way back. Frantic but coordinated, they scrambled to erase the evidence of their creative outburst. Naruto zipped around, collecting scraps of paper. Kiba mopped up the spills with a speed belying his usually boisterous nature, and even Shikamaru contributed, efficiently organizing the materials back into place. In the midst of their frenzied tidying, their camaraderie was unmistakable, their laughter and quick-witted jibes making the task almost enjoyable.
This is like a stealth mission, but messier, Naruto quipped as he stashed the last of the paper under a desk. Yeah, and with Shikamaru's strategy, we might actually finish before Iruka-sensei gets here, Akiba added, throwing a wadded paper ball into the trash. Shikamaru, offering a rare grin, retorted, Quick thinking is part of being a ninja, even if it's just avoiding trouble. Just as Iruka stepped back into the classroom, the trio finished their makeshift cleanup. The room, though not spotless, was considerably neater, and the chakra network models sat oddly lopsided but complete on their desk. Iruka's eyes swept across the room, landing on the peculiar model. Care to explain this artwork? He asked, a hint of amusement in his tone. Naruto, Kiba, and Shikamaru exchanged knowing glances. We were experimenting with a different approach to the assignment, Naruto replied, a sheepish smile on his face. Iruka, suppressing a smile, nodded. I see. Well, innovation is key in the ninja world. Just remember to keep it within the bounds of the classroom next time. As the class continued, Naruto, Kiba, and Shikamaru settled back into their seats, a sense of achievement shared among them. Their escapade, though unplanned, had strengthened their bond, transforming a routine assignment into a memorable adventure. Suddenly, Naruto's gamer interface chimed in with notifications. Reputation update. Kiba Inuzuka, +5 reputation points. Shikamaru Nara, +5 reputation points. Your collaboration and shared effort in handling an unexpected situation have positively impacted your reputation with Kiba and Shikamaru. Naruto grinned at the pop-up. The day was off to an interesting start, and with friends like these by his side, he was ready for whatever else the final year at the academy would bring. The afternoon sun cast elongated shadows across the streets of Konoha as Naruto, brimming with his usual enthusiasm, accepted a quest from Mrs. Yamanaka, a well-known villager, who was distraught over her missing pet cat, Machi. Go Naruto, I can't seem to find Machi anywhere. He's such a sneaky little thing, but I'm terribly worried, Mrs. Yamanaka fretted, her hands clasped together in concern. Naruto, always ready to lend a helping hand, flashed a confident grin. No worries, Mrs. Yamanaka. I'll track down Machi for you in no time. With determination sparkling in his eyes, Naruto set off on his quest, envisioning a swift and triumphant return. Relying on his newly improved perception skills, Naruto began his search through the village. It wasn't long before he spotted a flicker of fur disappearing behind a ramen shop. I found you, Machi, he exclaimed, but as he approached, Machi dashed away, initiating a comical pursuit through Konoha. Machi led Naruto on a merry chase, zigzagging through alleyways, hopping over fences, and weaving through the bustling marketplace. Naruto's pursuit of the elusive feline drew amused looks and laughter from the villagers as he nimbly navigated the obstacles in his path. Just wait till I catch you, Machi, he shouted, only to be answered by a cheeky meow. At one point, Machi perched atop a tall wall, seemingly out of reach. Naruto used his chakra control to effortlessly scale the wall. Aha, got you now, he declared, but Machi sprang onto a nearby branch, leaving Naruto in a slightly undignified position on the wall. Eventually, in a serene part of the village, Naruto found Machi lounging on a sunlit boulder. Stealthily, he approached and gently scooped up the cat, who surprisingly settled into his arms with a contented purr. As Naruto walked back to Mrs. Yamanaka's house with Machi in tow, his gamer UI chimed in. Skill acquired. Tracking basic. Your efforts in locating Machi have honed your tracking abilities. Mrs. Yamanaka's joy was palpable as she reunited with Machi. Thank you ever so much, Naruto. You're a lifesaver, she said, her relief evident. It was no problem at all, Mrs. Yamanaka. Machi sure is quite the explorer, Naruto replied with a laugh, feeling a sense of satisfaction. As Naruto left, his heart warmed by the grateful smile of Mrs. Yamanaka, he felt a sense of pride. Not only had he successfully completed the quest, but he had also improved his skills and strengthened his bond with the villagers. The quest, simple as it seemed, had been a delightful and rewarding experience for Naruto. It underlined the fact that being a ninja was about more than just combat, it was about being a helpful and dependable part of the community. Quest completed. Locate Machi the cat successfully completed. Rewards *. 100 XP gained.
+10 reputation with Konoha villagers. Your dedication and skill have further cemented your reputation as a reliable and capable young ninja within the village. Naruto stood in the kitchen, a determined yet somewhat apprehensive expression on his face. He had made a bet with Sakura and Ino that he could cook a meal, and now, the time had come to prove himself. How hard can it be? He muttered to himself, eyeing the assortment of ingredients and utensils before him. With a recipe book propped open, Naruto began his culinary adventure. He started chopping vegetables, a task that proved more challenging than anticipated. Carrots flew in one direction, onions in another, as Naruto's knife skills left much to be desired. Okay, that's sort of chopped, he said optimistically, sweeping the stray vegetables into a bowl. The next challenge was the stove. Turning the heat too high, Naruto quickly found himself in a smoky situation as the oil in the pan began to sizzle and pop aggressively. He exclaimed, fanning the smoke away with a dish towel. Sakura and Ino, watching from a safe distance, couldn't help but giggle at the spectacle. Naruto, maybe you should turn the heat down, Sakura suggested through her laughter. I got it. Naruto replied, a bit flustered but still smiling. He adjusted the stove and, with a deep breath, continued his culinary quest. The actual cooking of the food was an amusing display of trial and error. Vegetables were either undercooked or overcooked, rice turned into a sticky mush, and the meat was a mystery of its own. Naruto, however, remained undeterred, his usual enthusiasm undimmed by the culinary chaos. As he attempted to flip a piece of chicken, it somehow ended up flying out of the pan and landing with a splat on the floor. 5-second rule, Naruto declared, quickly scooping it up and tossing it back into the pan, much to Sakura and Ino's amusement. Despite the haphazard cooking methods, Naruto managed to put together a meal that was, at the very least, edible. He proudly presented his dishes to Sakura and Ino, who looked at the meal with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. Here goes nothing, Ino said, bravely taking a bite. Her expression was one of surprise. It's actually not bad, Naruto. Sakura followed suit, her taste buds bracing for the worst, but she was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, it's unique, but in a good way, she admitted with a smile. Naruto beamed with pride, his chest swelling at their approval. I guess I'm a natural chef after all, he boasted playfully. As they finished the meal, chatting and laughing, Naruto's gamer UI chimed in. Skill acquired. Cooking basic. Despite the unconventional methods, you have gained a basic understanding of cooking. Reputation update. Sakura Haruno, +10 reputation points. Ino Yamanaka, +10 reputation points. Your effort to cook a meal, despite the challenges, has positively impacted your reputation with Sakura and Ino. The cooking may have been a disaster, but it turned into a memorable and enjoyable experience for the three friends. Naruto's willingness to try, coupled with his infectious optimism, had brought them closer, strengthening the bond between them. As they cleaned up the kitchen, their laughter echoing in the room, Naruto felt a warm sense of camaraderie. The bet may have been about cooking, but what he gained was more than just culinary skills. It was a shared moment of joy and friendship that would be cherished for years to come. The botany class at the Ninja Academy was usually a quiet affair, but today it was the scene of an adorably awkward encounter between Naruto and Hinata. The classroom was filled with the scent of fresh soil and greenery, and Hinata found herself nervously adjusting the pot of a small flowering plant in front of her. She kept stealing glances at Naruto, who was at a table nearby, struggling with a rather uncooperative bonsai tree. Okay, little tree, let's get you looking nice and… Ow! Naruto exclaimed, pricking his finger on a sharp leaf. He shook his hand, sending a few leaves fluttering to the ground. Hinata, mustering all her courage, saw this as an opportunity to start a conversation. She picked up one of the fallen leaves and approached Naruto. Naruto-kun, you should be careful with the bonsai. They can be pretty tricky, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Naruto, turning towards her with a surprised look, replied with his trademark grin, Thanks, Hinata. I didn't know you were an expert on these things. Hinata's face turned a bright shade of red. I am not an expert or anything. I just like plants, she stammered, avoiding his gaze. As Hinata tried to hand him the leaf, she accidentally brushed Naruto's hand. The contact sent a shockwave of embarrassment through her,
and she quickly retracted her hand as if it was burned. "Yes, sorry," she squeaked. Naruto, oblivious to her inner turmoil, simply chuckled. "No problem, Hinata. Hey, maybe you can show me how to take care of this bonsai properly?" Sure." Hinata replied, her heart racing. This was her chance to spend time with Naruto, something she had dreamed of. But as they leaned over the bonsai tree, their heads almost touching, Hinata's nervousness reached new heights. Trying to focus on the task at hand, Hinata began instructing Naruto, but her words came out in a jumble. "You should trim the branches, but not too much, and water it, but not too little." Naruto, attempting to follow her advice, accidentally snipped off a larger branch than intended. "Oops. Was that too much?" he asked, looking sheepishly at Hinata. Hinata, panicked at the sight of the now lopsided bonsai, tried to salvage the situation. "It's okay. Bonsai trees are all about asymmetry?" Her knowledge of bonsai was limited, and her attempt at reassurance sounded more like a question. The two continued their botany adventure, with Hinata trying to guide Naruto and Naruto doing his best to follow her instructions. The entire process was filled with nervous laughter, accidental touches, and a lot of blushing, especially from Hinata. As the class drew to a close, Hinata gathered her courage to express her feelings. She took a deep breath and turned to Naruto. "Naruto-kun, I really enjoy spending time with you," she said, her voice trembling. Naruto, misunderstanding her intentions, replied with his usual enthusiastic innocence, "Me too, Hinata. We should do group projects more often." Hinata, slightly deflated but still determined, added, "No, I mean, I like you, Naruto-kun. More than just as a classmate." Naruto, finally catching on, blinked in surprise. His expression turned from confusion to a warm smile. "Really? I like you too, Hinata. You're really kind and always so helpful," he said, missing the romantic implication of her confession. Hinata, realizing the misunderstanding but too embarrassed to correct it, simply nodded with a small smile. "Thank you, Naruto-kun." As they left the classroom, Hinata felt a mix of disappointment and contentment. She hadn't fully conveyed her feelings, but she had taken a step closer to Naruto. And for now that was enough. Their botany class encounter, filled with cute awkwardness and comical misunderstandings, was a small but significant moment in their growing friendship. Hinata's feelings for Naruto remained a secret, but the seeds of something more had been sown. Naruto found himself on the quaint, flower-lined path leading to the home of Mr. and Mrs. Takahashi, an elderly couple in Konoha. He had accepted a quest to assist them with various chores, a task that seemed simple enough but would teach him valuable lessons about patience and kindness. Greeted by Mrs. Takahashi's warm smile, Naruto entered their home, ready to take on whatever task was needed. "Thank you for coming, Naruto. We really appreciate a strong, young ninja's help around here," she said kindly. The first task was organizing the cluttered attic. As Naruto sifted through boxes filled with memories and artifacts, Mr. Takahashi joined him, each item triggering a cascade of stories from his youth. Naruto, initially focused on finishing quickly, soon found himself engrossed in the tales of old Konoha, a world vastly different from his own. Hours passed in the attic, with Naruto listening intently to Mr. Takahashi's stories, his usual impatience melting away under the spell of the old ninja's reminiscences. The next chore was gardening, Mrs. Takahashi's pride and joy. Naruto thought he could breeze through the task, but soon realized gardening required a delicate touch and an attentive mind. Mrs. Takahashi's guidance was gentle yet precise, her knowledge of plants vast and detailed. As Naruto carefully tended to the plants under her watchful eye, he began to appreciate the quiet satisfaction of nurturing life. The garden, with its array of colors and fragrances, became a peaceful haven for Naruto, far removed from his usual fast-paced life. At the end of the day, as Naruto wiped the sweat from his brow and admired the well-tended garden, his gamer UI flashed with a notification. Skill acquired. Gardening Basic. Your careful work in the garden has given you a basic understanding of gardening. The elderly couple thanked Naruto profusely as he prepared to leave. You've been such a help, Naruto. You're welcome here anytime, Mr. Takahashi said, patting him on the back. Walking away from their home, Naruto felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The chores he had undertaken had not only helped the couple but had also taught him the virtues of patience, attentiveness, and the joy of listening to the wisdom of elders. His gamer UI confirmed the completion of his quest. Quest completed. The assist the Takahashi couple successfully completed. Rewards asterisk. 150 XP gained. Plus 20 reputation with Konoha elders. Your hard work and attentiveness have earned you respect and gratitude from the village elders. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the village, Naruto realized that being a ninja was about more than just physical strength and combat skills. It was also about compassion, understanding, and the willingness to lend a hand where it was needed. The day's experiences had enriched him, leaving an indelible mark on his journey as a ninja and as a person. The usually disciplined halls of the Ninja Academy were transformed into a lively battlefield as Naruto, Choji, and Kiba initiated a prank that would go down in Academy history. Their unsuspecting classmates soon became entangled in a series of hilarious and creative pranks. The first prank was simple yet effective. Naruto, with a mischievous twinkle in his eye, placed a whoopee cushion on Shino's chair. As the usually composed Shino sat down, the unexpected sound echoed through the classroom, causing him to jump up in surprise. The room erupted in laughter, with Naruto, Choji, and Kiba sharing triumphant grins. This prank set the tone for what was to come. Shino, along with Hinata, decided to respond in kind. They carefully positioned a bucket of water above the classroom door, and as Kiba entered, a cascade of water drenched him, leaving him sopping wet and shocked. The sight of the usually brash Kiba dripping wet was enough to send the class into another round of laughter. The pranks began to escalate. Naruto and his friends, not to be outdone, filled the girls' lockers with playful rubber snakes. Hinata's reaction, a mix of shock and laughter, only spurred the boys on. Hinata, showing a surprisingly mischievous side, collaborated with Shino for their next prank. They replaced Choji's beloved snacks with identical-looking but inedible versions. Choji's confused expression as he bit into a faux snack was a sight to behold, causing even the strictest of teachers to crack a smile. The prank war continued, with each new trick becoming more creative and elaborate. The students, caught up in the fun, began to work together in teams, devising ingenious ways to outdo each other. One of the final pranks involved Naruto and his team setting up tripwires made of clear thread around the classroom. As students began to arrive, a series of harmless but hilarious tripping incidents occurred, leading to good-natured laughter and mock outrage. The climax of the prank war, however, was orchestrated by Hinata and Shino. They managed to play a recording of Iruka singing a comical song over the Academy's public address system. Iruka's red-faced embarrassment, combined with the students' laughter, marked the perfect end to the prank-filled day. Realizing things couldn't escalate further without crossing the line, Naruto called for a truce. Okay, you guys win. Truce? He announced, holding his hands up in surrender. Hinata, giggling, agreed. Truce, Naruto-kun. This was a lot of fun. The class gathered in a circle, sharing stories and recalling the day's events with laughter and light-hearted teasing. It was a rare moment of unity where the competitive spirit of the Ninja Academy was replaced by camaraderie and fun. The prank war, while chaotic, had unexpectedly brought the class closer, breaking down barriers and strengthening bonds. It was a day filled with laughter, creativity, and the simple joy of friendship. As the students left the academy, still chuckling over the day's events, Naruto felt a sense of satisfaction. The prank war was more than just a series of jokes, it was a reminder of the importance of laughter and light-hearted moments, even in the life of a ninja. His gamer UI acknowledged the day's camaraderie. Reputation update. General class reputation, plus 15. Asterisk, your involvement in today's prank war has made you even more popular among your classmates. Your sense of humor and good sportsmanship have not gone unnoticed. Asterisk. The Konoha Ninja Academy Library was a place of quiet study and dusty tomes, a stark contrast to the bustling training grounds outside. Naruto, on a quest for knowledge, browsed the shelves with a focused intensity rare for the usually energetic ninja. It was here, amidst the ancient scrolls and weathered books, that he stumbled upon something that would change his trajectory in the world of Fuinjutsu, a skill book for advanced Fuinjutsu. As his fingers traced the book's spine, his eyes widened in excitement.
Fuinjutsu, Advanced Techniques. Read the title in bold, ancient script. His heart raced at the thought of learning advanced sealing techniques, a field he had developed a special affinity for. Naruto glanced around to ensure no one else was watching and carefully opened the book. The pages were filled with intricate diagrams and complex formulas, each chapter delving deeper into the art of sealing. Naruto's mind buzzed with the possibilities these techniques held, the power and knowledge that lay within these pages. With a quick look around to make sure he was still alone, Naruto activated the skill book absorption process. The familiar sensation of knowledge flooding his mind was exhilarating. He could feel the intricate patterns of Fuinjutsu etching themselves into his consciousness, expanding his understanding and skill. As the absorption completed, a rush of energy coursed through him, and Naruto felt a profound connection to the ancient art of sealing. He knew that this book would take his Fuinjutsu abilities to a whole new level, unlocking potential he hadn't even known he possessed. His gamer UI chimed in with the confirmation of his newfound skill. Skill book absorbed. Fuinjutsu Advanced Techniques. * You have successfully absorbed the knowledge contained in the skill book. Your understanding of Fuinjutsu has grown immensely, opening up new avenues for exploration and mastery. Naruto's excitement was palpable. He couldn't wait to put these new techniques into practice, to experiment with the advanced seals and explore their myriad applications. He imagined the intricate patterns he could create, the powerful seals he could craft. The possibilities were endless. Closing the book, Naruto placed it back on the shelf with a sense of reverence. This was more than just a book, it was a gateway to a higher level of ninja art, a step closer to becoming a master of Fuinjutsu. As he left the library, his mind raced with ideas and plans. He was eager to begin training, to test the limits of his new skills, and to see just how far this advanced knowledge of Fuinjutsu could take him. Naruto knew that this discovery was a significant milestone in his journey as a ninja. With the advanced Fuinjutsu techniques at his disposal, he felt more equipped, more powerful, and more excited about his future than ever before. This was a turning point, and he couldn't wait to see where it would lead. After discovering the skill book for advanced Fuinjutsu, Naruto dedicated himself to mastering its techniques. He spent countless hours in the secluded training grounds of Konoha, far from the prying eyes and distractions of his classmates. The training ground, usually a place of physical combat training, became his personal sanctuary for the intricate art of Fuinjutsu. Under the shade of tall trees and amidst the rustling leaves, Naruto practiced relentlessly. His fingers moved with precision as he drew complex seals in the air and on paper. He was determined to master the directional charge explosive seals and the basic barriers, two of the advanced techniques that had captivated his interest. The directional charge explosive seals were particularly challenging. They required precise chakra control and an in-depth understanding of the flow and containment of energy. Naruto experimented with different sizes and shapes, each attempt bringing him closer to perfecting the technique. His failures were as educational as his successes, each explosion, whether controlled or erratic, teaching him more about the nuances of the seals. With each passing day, Naruto's proficiency grew. He could feel the progress in his fingertips, in the way the chakra flowed more smoothly, and in the increased stability of his seals. The explosive seals began to detonate exactly as intended, their power and direction under his complete control. The basic barrier seals, though less flashy than the explosive ones, were equally important. They required a different kind of focus, a deep understanding of defensive strategies, and the ability to predict and counter potential threats. Naruto practiced by setting up barriers and then trying to breach them himself, learning from both sides of the equation. One afternoon, as the sun began its descent, Iruka appeared at the training grounds to observe Naruto's progress. He had heard of Naruto's intense training regimen and was curious to see how far his student had come. "Naruto, show me what you've learned," Iruka said, his voice a mix of curiosity and pride. Naruto nodded, a determined look on his face. He chose a spot on the training ground and began to weave his chakra into the complex patterns of an advanced explosive seal. Iruka watched, impressed by the concentration and skill Naruto displayed. With a final flourish, Naruto completed the seal and stepped back. Watch this, Iruka-sensei," he exclaimed. Channeling his chakra, he activated the seal. A controlled explosion erupted,
directed away from them, the force and precision exactly as Naruto had intended. The ground shook slightly under the impact, a testament to the seal's power. Iruka's eyes widened in amazement. "The incredible Naruto! You've truly mastered the directional charge explosive seals." Encouraged by Iruka's praise, Naruto moved on to demonstrate the basic barrier seals. He swiftly drew a series of seals around a dummy, creating an invisible barrier. To test its strength, Iruka threw a series of kunai at the dummy. The barrier held firm, deflecting the kunai with ease. Naruto's grin was wide with satisfaction. And that's just the basic version, Iruka-sensei. I'm still working on strengthening them." Iruka nodded, his expression one of genuine pride. "You've come a long way, Naruto. Your dedication to mastering Fuinjutsu is truly impressive." As the training session came to an end, Naruto felt a sense of accomplishment wash over him. The hours of practice, the relentless pursuit of mastery had paid off. He had successfully harnessed the advanced techniques of Fuinjutsu, adding a powerful tool to his arsenal as a ninja. His gamer UI chimed in, acknowledging his achievement. Skill level up. Fuinjutsu advanced mastery improved. Your hard work and dedication have greatly improved your mastery of advanced Fuinjutsu techniques. Naruto left the training ground with a spring in his step and a smile on his face. He knew there was still much to learn and more room to grow, but for now, he could bask in the satisfaction of having conquered a significant challenge. The path of a ninja was never easy, but for Naruto, every challenge was an opportunity to rise, to learn, and to become stronger. The atmosphere in the Ninja Academy classroom was a blend of excitement and nostalgia as graduation day loomed near. Naruto and his classmates, once mere novices with dreams of becoming ninjas, now sat together as soon-to-be graduates, each on the cusp of starting their own journey in the shinobi world. The classroom buzzed with chatter about the future. Groups of students huddled together, discussing their aspirations and the paths they hoped to take. Naruto sat with Shikamaru, Choji, Hinata, and Kiba, each sharing their thoughts and dreams. Shikamaru, ever the strategist, spoke of his desire to use his intellect to serve the village in a tactical capacity. As long as it's not too troublesome, he added with his characteristic lazy grin. Choji, munching on a snack, expressed his intention to continue his clan's tradition and excel in the art of expansion jutsu. And maybe create a few new techniques of my own, he said, his eyes gleaming with determination. Kiba, with Akamaru at his side, was enthusiastic about honing his tracking skills and working alongside his loyal canine companion. We're going to be the best tracking team in Konoha, he declared proudly. Hinata, shy yet sincere, shared her hope to grow stronger and gain confidence in her abilities. I want to make my family proud and maybe help others believe in themselves too, she said, her voice soft but firm. Naruto listened to his friends, feeling a surge of pride and camaraderie. When it was his turn, he stood up, his blue eyes shining with unbridled enthusiasm. I'm going to become the greatest Hokage ever. I'll protect the village and make it a place where everyone can follow their dreams, just like I'm following mine. The others smiled, knowing well Naruto's unwavering ambition. His energy and determination had been a constant source of inspiration and, occasionally, amusement throughout their academy days. As the conversation continued, the topic shifted to the challenges they might face as ninjas. They talked about the responsibility that came with the title, the potential dangers, and the sacrifices they might have to make. It was a serious discussion, a stark reminder that their path was not just about glory and adventure. Iruka, overhearing their conversation, joined in. Being a ninja is about more than just strength and skill. It's about having the heart to make tough decisions for the greater good, to protect others, and to uphold the values of the village. Naruto and his friends nodded, understanding the weight of Iruka's words. They knew that the road ahead would be filled with trials, but they also knew they had each other's support. As the class period came to an end, the students began to disperse, but not before making a pact. Let's all meet here again after our first big mission, Naruto suggested, his voice filled with excitement. Agreed. It'll be interesting to see how far we've all come, Shikamaru added. They all placed their hands in the center, a symbol of their bond and shared journey. To the future, they chorused, their voices echoing in the now empty classroom. As Naruto walked out of the classroom, he felt a mix of emotions. He was excited for what the future held but also wistful about leaving the academy behind. It had been a place of growth, challenges, and the forging of lifelong friendships. He took one last look at the classroom, etching its image in his memory. This was where it all began, where he took his first steps towards his dream. With a deep breath, he stepped out into the corridor, ready to embrace the future, whatever it might hold. Naruto's journey as a ninja was just beginning, but he knew one thing for certain: he wasn't alone. He had his friends, his dreams, and the unshakable will to make them all come true. The road ahead was unknown, but Naruto Uzumaki was ready to walk it, come what may. As the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden hue over the village, Naruto found himself sitting atop the Hokage monument, a place that offered solace and a sense of perspective. It was here that Iruka found him, sitting quietly, lost in thought. "Thinking about the future, Naruto?" Iruka asked, his voice gentle as he sat beside his soon-to-be former student. Naruto turned to Iruka, a mix of emotions playing across his face. "Yeah, Iruka-sensei. It's hard to believe that I'm graduating. It feels like only yesterday that I was the dead last prankster everyone was annoyed by," he said, a faint smile touching his lips. Iruka chuckled softly. "You've come a long way since then. You've grown not just as a ninja but as a person. I'm proud of you, Naruto." The words struck a chord in Naruto's heart. Iruka had been more than just a teacher. He had been a mentor, a role model, and at times, a father figure. I couldn't have done it without your belief in me, Iruka-sensei. When everyone else saw me as just a troublemaker, you saw something more. You gave me a chance," Naruto said, his voice tinged with gratitude. Iruka looked out over the village, his expression thoughtful. "I always knew you had potential, Naruto. You had a fire in you, a desire to prove yourself. That's what makes you special. You never give up, no matter the odds." Naruto gazed out at the village, the place he vowed to protect one day. "I still have a long way to go. I want to be Hokage, to be someone who can protect everyone, to be a ninja that the village can be proud of." "And you will be, Naruto. You have the strength, the determination, and most importantly, the heart. You care deeply about this village and its people. That's what will make you a great Hokage," Iruka said, his voice filled with conviction. The conversation drifted to Naruto's adventures and the lessons he had learned at the academy. They laughed over his escapades, his pranks, and the bonds he had formed with his classmates. Iruka listened intently, his eyes shining with pride at each story. As the sky darkened, painting the village in shades of twilight, Naruto turned to Iruka with a sincere look. "Thank you, Iruka-sensei. For everything. You believed in me when no one else did. You helped me find my path." Iruka placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder, his expression warm and fatherly. "Naruto, you've always had the potential to be great. I just helped you see it. Remember, no matter where your journey takes you, you have a village behind you. And you'll always have me." Naruto nodded, a sense of resolve and determination settling in. "I won't let you down, Iruka-sensei. I promise." The two sat in silence for a while, looking over the village they both loved. It was a moment of reflection, of understanding the journey that had brought them here and the journey that lay ahead. As they descended from the monument, Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose. His time at the academy had been a period of growth, challenges, and discovery. But now, a new chapter was beginning, and he was ready to face it head-on, with the lessons he had learned and the bonds he had formed guiding him forward. With Iruka's encouragement echoing in his mind, Naruto stepped into the night, his heart full of dreams and ambitions, ready to embrace the future as a shinobi of the Hidden Leaf Village. As the first stars of the evening began to twinkle in the deepening twilight sky, Naruto Uzumaki stood atop the Hokage monument, his gaze fixed on the sprawling village below. The cool breeze gently tousled his hair, bringing with it the myriad scents and sounds of Konoha at dusk. This place, high above the village, had always been a sanctuary for him, a spot where dreams felt tangible, almost within reach. His eyes traced the familiar paths and buildings, each a repository of memories from his time at the academy. He thought of his first day, filled with uncertainty and the heavy burden of loneliness. He remembered the pranks, the laughter, and the occasional scolding, each moment a stepping stone that had led him to where he stood now. Naruto's journey had been one of transformation. From the ostracized prankster to a respected ninja in training, he had defied expectations, shattered stereotypes, and forged his own path. His determination, unyielding spirit, and unwavering belief in himself had seen him through the toughest of times. As he looked out over Konoha, Naruto felt a profound connection to the village. It was more than just a place, it was a part of him, intertwined with his aspirations and dreams. He thought of the Hokage faces carved into the stone behind him, each a symbol of strength, leadership, and sacrifice. Someday, he vowed, his face would join theirs, not for glory, but to symbolize his commitment to the village and its people. The academy had been a crucible, shaping and tempering him. He had learned not just jutsu and tactics, but also the value of friendship, teamwork, and perseverance. He thought of Iruka, Shikamaru, Hinata, and all the others who had touched his life, each leaving an indelible mark on his heart. A smile spread across Naruto's face as he thought about the future. There would be missions, challenges, and perhaps even dangers, but he felt ready to face them head-on. He was no longer the unsure boy who had entered the academy, he was a ninja armed with skills, knowledge, and an unbreakable will. Naruto's thoughts turned to his dream of becoming Hokage. It was a dream that had sustained him, a beacon of hope during his darkest moments. He knew the road ahead would be fraught with trials, but he also knew that he had the strength to overcome them. His journey was just beginning, and he was eager to see where it would take him. As he stood there, a sense of peace and determination settled within him. He had grown, he had learned, and he had overcome. The Naruto Uzumaki who would descend from the monument that evening was not the same as the one who had climbed it. He was stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever to achieve his dreams. With a final look at the village, Naruto turned and made his way down from the monument. His heart was full of hope for the future, a future where he would work tirelessly to protect the village and its inhabitants, to be a ninja worthy of the title of Hokage. The night enveloped Konoha, but for Naruto, it was as if a new dawn was breaking. A dawn of possibilities, adventures, and the promise of a future where he could make a difference. With each step, his resolve strengthened, and his spirit soared. Naruto Uzumaki, the boy who dreamed of recognition, who longed to prove himself, was ready to embark on the greatest adventure of his life. And as he disappeared into the night, one thing was clear, the story of Naruto Uzumaki was just beginning. The first rays of the morning sun filtered through the window, illuminating Naruto Uzumaki's apartment, now a lush green haven brimming with plants of various shapes and sizes. He woke up to this miniature jungle daily, a living testament to his newfound passion and skill in gardening. It wasn't just a hobby, it had become a symbol of growth, both personal and literal. Lying in bed, Naruto gazed around at the thriving greenery, a small sense of pride welling up inside him. His gardening, basic skill was now maxed out, and he was delving into the complexities of gardening, advanced. Each plant in his room represented a step in his journey, a journey that began with a simple quest to help an elderly couple in their garden. That day, amidst the soil and seeds, he had discovered not just the joy of nurturing life but also a metaphor for his own growth. He remembered how each plant required specific care, much like the individual relationships he had cultivated over time. The fern by the window thrived in the soft morning light, reminding him of Hinata's gentle strength. The sturdy cactus on his shelf, resilient and enduring, brought to mind Shikamaru's unshakable calmness. And the cheerful sunflowers, turning towards the light, mirrored his own journey towards becoming a better ninja, a better person. Sitting up, Naruto let his gaze drift to the window, looking out at the village he loved. It hadn't been easy to change the villagers' perception of him, especially with that mysterious question mark. Special modifier that had initially set back his reputation. But he had persevered, completing quest after quest for the villagers, showing them his true character. His efforts had borne fruit, just like the plants in his room. His reputation with the village had soared to a +70, a number that filled him with a quiet sense of accomplishment. His relationship with his classmates had evolved similarly. Initially seen as the class clown and troublemaker, he had worked hard to change their views. Now, his reputation score with them was even higher, a reflection of the trust and camaraderie they shared. It was a far cry from his first days at the academy, a testament to the bonds he had forged through shared challenges and moments of laughter. Naruto stood up, stretching his limbs and taking a deep, refreshing breath. The plants around him seemed to respond, their leaves rustling softly, as if in acknowledgement of their caretaker's presence. It was a new day, another opportunity to grow, to learn, and to connect. As he prepared for the day ahead, Naruto couldn't help but smile. His journey had been like tending a garden, requiring patience, effort, and a lot of heart. And just like his plants, he had grown, transformed by his experiences and the people he had met along the way. In the early morning light, Naruto Uzumaki stood in front of his bathroom mirror, absent-mindedly brushing his teeth while his mind wandered over the past year at the Ninja Academy. He had made significant progress, gaining 2 more levels. Reflecting on his strategic decision, he recalled how he had allocated all the stat points from these levels into wisdom and intelligence, aiming to enhance his chakra control for the elusive clone jutsu. As he spat out the toothpaste and rinsed his mouth, Naruto called up his gamer interface, curious to see his current stats and skills. The holographic display materialized in front of him. Naruto Uzumaki level 12. Strength 20. Dexterity 22. Constitution 31. Intelligence 22. Wisdom 21. Charisma 15. Luck 23. Derived stats. Health points HP 150 modified by increased constitution. Health regeneration HR 100 HP/hour enhanced due to special modifiers. Chakra capacity CP 800 boosted significantly by modifiers. Chakra control CC 34 increased by skill modifiers. Special modifiers asterisk. A question mark. Constitution increase plus 10. Constitution increase plus 25%. Health regeneration increased by 25%. Skill aptitude, special affinity for a question mark a skill. A question mark. Reputation with Konoha minus 25. Relationship with Hiruzen Sarutobi plus 50. Chakra capacity increased by 50%. Chakra control decreased by 25%. Health regeneration increased by another 25%, total 50%. A question mark. Luck increase plus 10. Bad diet eliminated. Skills asterisk. Perception, beginner 250-250, intermediate 500-500. Basic taijutsu, beginner 250-250, intermediate 500-500. Basic ninjutsu, beginner 250 of 250. Basic chakra control, beginner 250-250, intermediate 500-500, chakra control derived stat increased by 25% for beginner and 50% for intermediate. Basic bukujutsu, beginner 250 of 250. Basic fuinjutsu, beginner 250-250, intermediate 500-500, advanced 557/750. Gardening, beginner 250-250, intermediate 115/500. Tracking, beginner 250 of 250. Knowledge history, basic 200 of 250. Knowledge geography, basic 150 of 250. Knowledge chakra theory, basic 100 of 250. Substitution jutsu 350/1000. Transformation jutsu 250/1000. Naruto smiled with pride as he looked over his stats. The bad diet modifier, a remnant of his unhealthier days, was finally gone, a personal victory. His commitment to a balanced diet and rigorous training had paid off, and he was healthier than ever. Naruto paused at the door of his apartment, his gaze lingering on a particular scroll resting on his small, cluttered desk. The scroll was meticulously scribed by Iruka-sensei, containing the intricate details of the clone jutsu. It was more than just a scroll, it was a symbol of the challenge that had eluded Naruto despite his relentless efforts. With a deep breath, Naruto stepped towards the desk, his heart pounding with a mixture of hope and anxiety. Today, he thought, could be the day he finally mastered it. He extended a hand towards the scroll, the familiar sensation of his skill absorption ability activating. As he focused, willing his chakra to align with the complex requirements of the jutsu, a sudden flash of red error message blazed across his vision. Naruto's heart sank as he read the all-too-familiar words, insufficient chakra control. He slumped slightly, a wave of disappointment washing over him. Despite his increased wisdom, intelligence, and the rigorous training to enhance his chakra control, it still wasn't enough for this elusive technique. Naruto let out a long sigh, trying to shake off the crestfallen feeling. He had really tried, put his all into it, but it seemed that some hurdles were still too high to clear for now. He reminded himself of his other accomplishments, the skills he had mastered, and the progress he had made. It wasn't all in vain. With a determined nod to himself, Naruto grabbed his ninja headband and tied it around his forehead. He couldn't let this setback define his day or his journey. There was much more to him than this one jutsu, and he had the ninja academy, his friends, and a whole village to prove it to. Stepping out of his apartment, Naruto looked up at the clear sky, a sense of resolve returning to his steps. He might not have mastered the clone jutsu yet, but he was still Naruto Uzumaki, the boy with dreams of becoming Hokage. He had faced challenges before and had always found a way to overcome them. As he made his way to the academy, Naruto's mind was already racing with ideas and strategies. He would keep training, keep pushing his limits. One day he knew he'd get there. For now, he had an academy to attend, friends to meet, and a future as a ninja to embrace. With his spirit undaunted, Naruto walked on, ready to face whatever the day would bring. After all, every challenge was an opportunity in disguise, and Naruto was never one to back down from a challenge. As Naruto arrived at the Ninja Academy, he paused at the entrance, taking a moment to fully absorb the world around him. His heightened perception, a result of his diligent leveling up, allowed him to see the finer details of his surroundings that others might miss. Most intriguingly, he could see the levels of his classmates and teachers, as well as their reputation scores with him, all displayed through his gamer interface. Stepping into the bustling hallway, Naruto greeted his classmates with his usual jubilant enthusiasm. "A good luck, everyone," he called out, his eyes darting to the floating indicators above their heads. Naruto's warm greeting to Hinata was met with her characteristic shy smile, a response he had come to know well over their years at the academy. Observing her reputation score, a high 480 to 1000, Naruto felt a sense of pride and satisfaction. Their relationship had evolved from mere acquaintances to something much deeper, marked by mutual respect and understanding. As Naruto reflected on their time together, he remembered the countless instances where he had encouraged Hinata to step out of her shell. From their early days at the academy, he had noticed her potential, often overshadowed by her timidity. He saw in her a kindred spirit, someone else striving to prove themselves. He recalled the afternoons they spent practicing in the training grounds, where he would gently coax her into sparring sessions. Initially hesitant, Hinata had gradually grown more confident, her skills sharpening under his encouragement. Naruto always offered constructive feedback, balancing it with his characteristic humor to lighten the mood. "You've got amazing skills, Hinata. Just need to believe in yourself a bit more," he would say with a grin. Their bond had also grown during quieter moments, often after class, when Naruto would find Hinata practicing alone. Joining her, he'd share techniques and strategies, and in return, Hinata would offer insights into chakra control, an area where she excelled. These sessions not only improved their skills but also deepened their understanding of each other. Hinata's growth was evident in the way she carried herself, both in and out of the classroom. She had risen to hold the second standing in their class, a position that spoke volumes of her dedication and hard work. Her reputation as the top kunoichi of their class, much to Sakura's chagrin, was well-earned. Naruto had witnessed Hinata's transformation from a reserved, uncertain student into a confident, skilled kunoichi. He remembered the look of determination in her eyes during their training sessions, her resolve strengthening with each passing day. Naruto knew that part of her growth was spurred by her admiration for him, but he also recognized that Hinata's true strength came from within. She had always possessed the talent, she just needed a little push to bring it to the forefront. As they prepared for their final year at the academy, Naruto could see the change in Hinata. She was more assertive during class discussions, her hand raised more frequently to answer questions. In sparring sessions, she moved with a grace and precision that impressed even their instructors. Her growth as a ninja was paralleled by her personal growth, and Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in being part of her journey. Hinata's high reputation score was not just a number in the gamer system, it was a reflection of the respect and admiration she had garnered from Naruto and their classmates. As he interacted with her that morning, Naruto felt confident that Hinata was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Her journey, like his, was a testament to the power of perseverance and the strength that comes from supportive friendships. Naruto's gaze shifted to Sasuke, standing apart with his usual aloof demeanor. Despite their rivalry and the distance in their personal connection, Naruto couldn't help but acknowledge the role Sasuke had played in his own development. He noted Sasuke's level, a notch higher than his own, a testament to Sasuke's skill and dedication. However, Sasuke's reputation score, a mere 150 to 1000, stood in stark contrast to most of their classmates, reflecting his tendency to keep others at arm's length. Hey Sasuke, let's give it our all today," Naruto called out with his usual exuberance, approaching the Uchiha. Sasuke merely glanced at him, a silent acknowledgement, before turning his attention back to his solitary preparations. Naruto wasn't put off, he was used to Sasuke's cool demeanor. As Naruto stood there, he thought back to a pivotal quest in his earlier years at the academy. He snapped Sasuke out of it. The quest had been an unusual one, tasking him with shaking Sasuke out of the slump that had followed the tragic Uchiha massacre. At the time, Sasuke had been withdrawn, his performance at the academy suffering due to his inner turmoil. Naruto had taken the quest to heart, challenging Sasuke both in spars and through a series of well-intentioned pranks. It had been a delicate balance, pushing Sasuke enough to ignite his competitive spirit without crossing the line. Naruto remembered the spar that had finally broken through Sasuke's apathy. It had been a fierce battle, with both of them pushing their limits. Naruto had managed to land a solid hit, a moment that had sparked a fire in Sasuke's eyes. The pranks too had played their part. Naruto had pulled off a series of increasingly elaborate jokes, each designed to draw Sasuke out of his shell. The culmination had been an intricate prank involving a fake mission scroll that had led Sasuke on a wild goose chase across the village. The frustration, followed by the realization that he had been duped, had finally made Sasuke crack a smile, a rare victory in itself. Those efforts had not only reignited Sasuke's drive but had also earned Naruto some grudging respect from the brooding teen. Their spars became more frequent, each an intense display of their growing skills and determination. Though their interactions were often competitive, there was an underlying current of mutual recognition of each other's talents. Naruto's eyes lit up as he approached Shikamaru and Choji, who were engaged in a laid-back conversation. The sight of them brought back a flood of memories, from impromptu training sessions to the countless escapades they had embarked on together. Both Shikamaru and Choji's reputation scores, hovering above 450 out of 1000, were a clear indicator of the deep bond and numerous shared experiences that had solidified their friendship over the years. "Is Shikamaru, Choji, you guys ready to shake things up?" Naruto greeted them with his characteristic grin. Shikamaru responded with his trademark lazy nod, a slight smirk hinting at his readiness, despite his outwardly relaxed demeanor. Choji, ever the more expressive of the two, let out a hearty laugh, his eyes twinkling with anticipation. Their camaraderie had been a constant source of comfort and strength for Naruto. He remembered how Shikamaru, with his strategic mind and calm approach, had often been the voice of reason in their trio, balancing out Naruto's impulsive nature. Choji, with his unwavering loyalty and good-natured spirit, had always been there to support them, both in and out of battle. Naruto cherished the countless afternoons they had spent strategizing for missions, the shared meals, often at Choji's insistence, and the laughter that seemed to follow them wherever they went. There was a sense of ease and understanding among them that came from years of friendship. He recalled one particular incident when they had teamed up for a survival exercise, each of them playing to their strengths to overcome the challenges. It had been Shikamaru's quick thinking, Choji's resilience, and Naruto's daring that had seen them through. The exercise had not only strengthened their bond but had also shown Naruto the value of teamwork and trust. As he stood there with them, Naruto felt a surge of gratitude. Shikamaru and Choji weren't just classmates or fellow ninja trainees, they were his brothers in arms, friends who had been through thick and thin with him. Their friendship was a testament to the fact that the bonds formed during the trials and joys of the academy years were not easily broken. "So, any plans for after graduation?" Naruto asked, already knowing that whatever paths they chose, the bond they shared would remain unbroken. Shikamaru shrugged nonchalantly, "As long as it's not too troublesome, I'm good with anything." Choji, munching on a snack, added, "As long as there's good food involved, count me in." Naruto laughed, the sound mingling with the voices and energy of the classroom. He looked forward to seeing where their journeys would take them, but for now, he was content in knowing that the friendships he had forged at the academy would last a lifetime. As they joined the rest of the class in preparing for the day's lessons, Naruto felt a sense of belonging and unity. Together, they were ready to face whatever the future held, their bonds of friendship stronger than ever. Throughout the morning, Naruto interacted with his other classmates, noting their various levels and reputation scores. He saw the wide spectrum of relationships he had cultivated, from those he was close to like Kiba and Sakura, to others he wished he knew better. The classroom was already buzzing with the nervous energy of his classmates, each absorbed in their own thoughts and preparations for the exam. Naruto's eyes scanned the room, lingering on the faces of friends he had made over the years, friends who had transformed his academy experience from a solitary struggle into a journey filled with camaraderie and growth. He had entered the academy as an outcast, the shadow of his unknown heritage casting a long, isolating shadow. But now, as he walked among his peers, there was a sense of belonging, a feeling of being acknowledged and accepted. It was a testament to the effort he had put into not just honing his ninja skills but also in building relationships, a task made easier yet more meaningful with the guidance of his gamer abilities. Naruto found his seat, a sense of calm settling over him. He was no longer the boy desperate for attention and acknowledgement. The quests, the challenges, and the friendships had changed him. He had learned the importance of empathy, teamwork, and the strength found in relying on others. These lessons, coupled with the impressive array of skills he had acquired, had prepared him not just for the exam, but for life as a shinobi. The classroom door slid open, and Iruka stepped in, his presence commanding immediate attention. Naruto looked up, his blue eyes reflecting a quiet confidence. Iruka's gaze met his, and there was a brief nod of understanding between them. Iruka had been more than a teacher, he had been a mentor, a guiding figure in Naruto's tumultuous journey at the academy. As Iruka began to speak, outlining the structure of the exam and offering words of encouragement, Naruto felt a deep sense of gratitude. Today marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. The academy had been a crucible, shaping him into a ninja ready to face the world beyond its walls. Naruto's journey had been unconventional, filled with unexpected turns and unique challenges, but it had been his journey. And as he sat there, surrounded by his classmates, he felt a sense of readiness. The bonds he had formed, the skills he had mastered, and the experiences he had endured had all culminated in this moment. The exam would be a test of all he had learned, but more than that, it was a celebration of his growth, not just as a ninja but as a person. Naruto Uzumaki, once the academy's pariah, now sat among his peers as an equal, his heart filled with determination and hope for the future. The final bell rang, signaling the start of the exam, and Naruto faced it head-on, ready to embrace the challenges and adventures that lay ahead. The day had started with such promise. Naruto had entered the exam hall with a newfound confidence, buoyed by his enhanced intelligence and his well-leveled beginner book skills. He had managed the bookwork with relative ease, surprised at his own proficiency. Guess those stat points really paid off, he had thought to himself, answering the questions with a focus he hadn't known he possessed. The bukijutsu portion had been a thrill. He had moved with precision and agility, each strike and parry a dance of sharpened skills. Only Sasuke had outperformed him, his movements a fraction more refined. In the taijutsu segment, Naruto found himself on equal footing with Sasuke, their rivalry pushing them to their limits. Hinata had outshone them both, her graceful, precise strikes a testament to her hard work and Naruto's encouragement over the years. The physical conditioning part of the exam had been his domain. Naruto excelled, his enhanced strength and endurance on full display as he completed the grueling tasks with energy to spare. He had felt unstoppable, a surge of pride swelling in his chest. But then came the ninjutsu portion. The clone jutsu, the bane of Naruto's existence, the one skill that had eluded him despite his best efforts. He had approached the task with a mixture of hope and dread. The familiar red error message from his gamer interface haunted him as he attempted the jutsu. His clones were mere puffs of smoke, far from the solid replicas required to pass. He had stood there, crestfallen, as Iruka had gently explained that he could petition the Hokage for an exception, but such allowances were rare. The disappointment was a heavy weight, a shadow cast over his accomplishments. Now, Naruto sat on an old swing outside the academy, his classmates' words of sympathy echoing hollowly in his mind. Shikamaru had offered to help with the petition, his lazy drawl unable to mask his concern. Hinata's hug had been a balm to his bruised ego, her tears a mirror to his internal struggle. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the empty playground, Naruto felt a profound sense of isolation. He watched his classmates leave, their faces a mix of relief and excitement, a stark contrast to the turmoil churning within him. He was so lost in his thoughts that he didn't notice Mizuki approaching until the man was almost upon him. Mizuki, a teacher at the academy, had always been somewhat of an enigma to Naruto. He stood tall, his expression unreadable as he regarded Naruto on the swing. "Naruto," Mizuki began, his voice calm and even. "A tough day, huh?" Naruto looked up, his blue eyes clouded with disappointment. "Yeah," he replied, his voice barely above a whisper. I thought I could do it, but that stupid clone jutsu." Mizuki nodded, sitting down on the swing next to Naruto. "You've come a long way, Naruto. It's not just about one jutsu, you know. You've shown remarkable growth in so many areas." Naruto's gaze fell to his hands, clenched tightly in his lap. "But it's not enough, is it? If I can't do the clone jutsu, I can't pass. All my work, all the progress, it feels like it's for nothing." Mizuki's voice was gentle, but there was an underlying intensity that caught Naruto's attention. "It's not for nothing, Naruto. You've proven yourself in many ways. Sometimes, the system is too rigid, too unforgiving of unique talents." Naruto looked at Mizuki, sensing something unspoken in his words. Mizuki's expression was thoughtful, almost calculating. "What if I told you there's another way? A way you could still achieve your dream, without being held back by traditional expectations?" Naruto's heart skipped a beat. Hope, mingled with uncertainty, flickered in his eyes. "Another way? What do you mean?" Mizuki leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "There are paths outside the conventional ones, Naruto. Ways to harness your talents that the academy doesn't teach you. But you have to be willing to take a risk, to step outside the boundaries." Naruto felt a mix of intrigue and apprehension. Mizuki's words were tempting, offering a glimmer of possibility where he saw none. But there was also a sense of danger, an unspoken warning that this other way might lead him down a path far different from what he had envisioned. As the last rays of sunlight disappeared, leaving the playground in twilight, Naruto faced a decision. The offer was a siren call to his desperate desire to succeed, yet it also carried an air of mystery that both intrigued and alarmed him. Naruto stared at the holographic display that had appeared in front of him, the words "Main Quest Mizuki's Path/Hokage Path" glowing in the fading light. His heart pounded in his chest as he weighed his options, the weight of the decision pressing heavily on him. Choosing the Hokage's path meant facing Hiruzen Sarutobi, the village leader who had always shown him kindness, and admitting his failure. It was a daunting prospect, laying bare his shortcomings and asking for grace. Yet it was the path of honesty, of accepting his limitations and hoping for understanding. It was the path that aligned with the values he had learned at the academy, the principles of integrity and humility. On the other hand, Mizuki's path was shrouded in mystery and allure. It promised a way to earn his place as a shinobi, to bypass the conventional route that had so far led him to this impasse. Mizuki's words echoed in his mind, tempting him with the possibility of achieving his dream without begging for it. But Naruto couldn't shake off the feeling that this path was fraught with risks and unknown consequences. It veered away from the straightforward, honorable approach he had always believed in. Naruto's gaze shifted from the floating display to Mizuki, who watched him with an unreadable expression. There was a sense of urgency in Mizuki's demeanor, an eagerness that made Naruto uneasy. He knew that Mizuki was offering him a lifeline, but at what cost? The choice was clear, yet incredibly complex. Naruto's entire future hinged on this decision. To follow the Hokage's path was to adhere to the principles he had been taught, to face his failures and grow from them. To choose Mizuki's path was to step into the unknown, to potentially gain everything he wanted but risk losing himself in the process. Naruto took a deep breath, his mind racing. He thought of Iruka, of Hinata's tears, of Shikamaru's offer to help with the petition. He thought of his dream to become Hokage, to be a ninja that the village could be proud of. Could he truly achieve that by straying from the path of integrity? His hand hovered over the display, the two options pulsating with equal intensity. In that moment, Naruto realized that this decision was about more than just passing an exam or becoming a ninja. It was about the kind of person, the kind of shinobi he wanted to be. With a resolute nod to himself, Naruto made his choice. He reached out and selected the Hokage's path. The display blinked in acknowledgement before fading away. Mizuki's expression shifted, a flicker of something unreadable passing across his face. "You've made your choice, then," he said, his voice neutral. Naruto met Mizuki's gaze, his own eyes filled with a quiet determination. Yes, I have. I'll talk to the Hokage. I'll face my failures and learn from them. That's the ninja way, the path I choose." Mizuki nodded, standing up from the swing. "Very well, Naruto. I respect your decision. Good luck." With those words, he turned and walked away, leaving Naruto alone with his thoughts. As Naruto watched Mizuki's retreating figure, he felt a sense of peace settle over him. He had chosen the harder path, but it was the right one. He would face Hiruzen Sarutobi, admit his shortcomings, and accept whatever decision was made. It was a testament to his growth, to the values he had embraced as a student at the academy. With a newfound resolve, Naruto stood up from the swing and headed towards the Hokage's office. The road ahead might be uncertain, but he was ready to walk it with honesty and courage. This was his path, the path of Naruto Uzumaki, future Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village. It was late evening and the Hokage's office, usually a hub of activity, was now quiet. Naruto stood hesitantly beside the empty reception desk, his heart racing with a mix of apprehension and resolve. Swallowing his pride, he raised his hand and knocked softly on the door, a stark contrast to his usually boisterous nature. The door swung open gently, and the voice of Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, called out warmly, "Come in, Naruto." Naruto stepped into the room, where the old man sat behind his desk, his eyes reflecting wisdom and kindness. "Ah, Naruto," Hiruzen began with a gentle smile, "you don't come to see me enough, my boy. And knocking so quietly is nothing like you. Why not tell an old man your troubles?" Naruto hesitated, his fingers fidgeting nervously. "Oh well, Hokage-sama," he started, his voice faltering slightly, I had some trouble with the academy exam." Hiruzen leaned forward, his expression attentive and encouraging. "Tell me more, Naruto." Gathering his courage, Naruto explained how he had studied harder than ever before, pouring his efforts into improving his ninja skills. "I really thought I was ready," he admitted. To demonstrate his point, Naruto focused his chakra, causing several papers from the Hokage's desk to adhere to his body, a display of his chakra control. "See? I can do this, but when it comes to the clone jutsu..." His voice trailed off, laden with frustration. Hiruzen observed the demonstration with a mix of intrigue and concern. "You've certainly improved your chakra control, Naruto. But I sense there's more to this story." Naruto nodded, his gaze dropping. "There is. Mizuki-sensei, he told me about another way to pass a secret test." He recounted Mizuki's offer, detailing the dubious nature of the proposal and the inner conflict it had stirred within him. Hiruzen's expression darkened slightly at the mention of Mizuki's name. "I see," he said, his voice steady but with an undercurrent of something more serious. He reached for a small bell on his desk and rang it sharply. Moments later, two Anbu appeared, their presence silent but commanding. "Find Mizuki and bring him to me," Hiruzen ordered, his tone leaving no room for question. "He has betrayed the trust of this office and the village." As the Anbu vanished as swiftly as they had appeared, Naruto looked up, shock and a hint of betrayal flickering across his face. "Die. I can't believe Mizuki-sensei would." Hiruzen sighed, a weary sadness in his eyes. "Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend, Naruto. But what matters is your decision. You chose to seek guidance rather than take an easier, dishonest path. That speaks volumes of your character." Naruto absorbed the Hokage's words, a mix of emotions swirling within him. I want to be a good ninja, Hokage-sama. For the village." Hiruzen nodded, his gaze softening. "And you will be, Naruto. Your loyalty and integrity are exactly what this village needs in a shinobi." He paused, glancing around the room before making a hand sign. The room was instantly sealed with a privacy jutsu. Naruto looked around, sensing the shift in the atmosphere. "Hokage-sama?" Hiruzen leaned forward, his voice dropping to a confidential tone. There are things about your life, Naruto, that have been kept from you for your own safety. But given your recent actions, your steadfastness and honor, I believe it's time you knew some truths. Naruto's eyes widened, a surge of curiosity and apprehension rising within him. Truths? About me? Hiruzen nodded solemnly. Yes, Naruto. About your heritage, your family, and the reason behind certain challenges you faced. His eyes held Naruto's, conveying a seriousness that underscored the gravity of what was to come. Naruto sat motionless, his mind racing. The revelation that he was about to receive was something he had longed for yet feared. It was the key to understanding who he was and perhaps the path he was destined to walk. As Hiruzen prepared to unveil the hidden chapters of Naruto's life, the young ninja braced himself. He knew that whatever was revealed would change his life forever. The night had brought more than just the end of a troubling day, it was the beginning of a new understanding of his very existence. Hiruzen Sarutobi took a slow, contemplative drag from his pipe, the smoke curling up into the dimly lit room. Naruto watched him, his heart pounding with anticipation and anxiety. The Hokage's next words would unveil secrets that had been shrouded in mystery for Naruto's entire life. There was once an Uzumaki clan, Naruto, Hiruzen began, his voice tinged with a hint of nostalgia. They hailed from Uzushiogakure, also known as Yuzu. The Uzumaki were renowned for their mastery of Fuinjutsu, the art of sealing, and were blessed with unbelievable life force and chakra. Naruto listened, his eyes wide with wonder. He had never known of his clan or its legacy. Your mother, Hiruzen continued, reaching for an old photograph on his desk, was the last Uzumaki in Konoha. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki. He slid the photograph across the desk to Naruto. The picture showed a woman with bright red hair, vibrant and long, cascading down her back like a fiery waterfall. Her eyes, a striking shade of blue, seemed to sparkle with life and determination. She wore a warm smile, one that seemed to reach out from the photograph, touching Naruto's heart. Naruto stared at the photograph, a wave of emotions washing over him. This was his mother, a connection to a past he had never known. Hiruzen allowed Naruto a moment to absorb the image of Kushina before continuing. The Uzumaki were remarkable in another way. They were the only clan capable of having the kyubi, the nine-tailed fox, sealed within them. This practice is known as Jinchuriki, or the power of human sacrifice. Naruto's gaze shifted from the photograph back to Hiruzen, a sense of disbelief creeping in. A Jinchuriki? He echoed, the word foreign yet heavy with meaning. Yes, Hiruzen affirmed. Bijou like the kyubi cannot be destroyed. To keep them contained, they were sealed in humans. This was done to maintain balance between the villages, distributing their immense power. He paused, his expression turning somber. Your mother, Kushina, was the last Jinchuriki of the kyubi. She died on the night you were born, a result of complications from the sealing and childbirth. Naruto felt his world tilt, the revelation hitting him like a tidal wave. His mother, an Uzumaki, the last Jinchuriki of the kyubi. The fourth Hokage, Hiruzen continued, his voice low, was left with no choice but to seal the beast in the only vessel remaining after its release during the attack on Konoha. That vessel is you, Naruto Uzumaki. You are the Jinchuriki of the kyubi no Kitsune. The room spun around Naruto as he tried to process the information. He was the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, the very creature that had terrorized Konoha and taken so many lives, including his own parents. This is why you have always had an abundance of chakra, Naruto, and why controlling it has been such a challenge for you, Hiruzen explained gently. The presence of the kyubi's chakra within you has made it difficult to harness your own. Naruto sat in stunned silence, the pieces of his life's puzzle finally coming together in a picture he could never have imagined. The reason behind the villagers' fear and animosity towards him, his exceptional chakra, the struggles with control, it all stemmed from the kyubi sealed within him. Hiruzen watched Naruto, his eyes filled with empathy. I know this is a lot to take in, Naruto. But know this, you are not the kyubi. You are a brave, strong young man who has already overcome so much. Your journey is your own, and your destiny is not defined by the kyubi. Naruto, still grappling with the revelation, looked at the photograph of his mother, then back at the third Hokage. A whirlwind of questions, fears, and newfound truths swirled within him. This moment marked a new chapter in his life, one where he would have to reconcile his past, his identity, and his path forward as both Naruto Uzumaki and the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Still reeling from the staggering revelations about his lineage and the Kyuubi, Naruto managed to gather his thoughts enough to address the original reason for his visit. So, about the exam? He asked hesitantly, his voice a mix of uncertainty and hope. Hiruzen chuckled softly, a knowing twinkle in his eye. Interestingly, both Shikaku Nara and Hayashi Hyuga have already petitioned me for an exemption on your behalf, he said, puffing on his pipe as he watched Naruto's expression turn to one of surprise. But, Hiruzen continued, I don't believe that's quite fitting for you. I think a makeup test should more than suffice. He rose from his seat and disappeared into an adjoining room, returning moments later with a large, ornate scroll. Naruto recognized it immediately. It was the legendary Scroll of Seals, an item of immense importance and power. This is the Scroll of Seals, Hiruzen said, laying it before Naruto. Your task is to learn the first jutsu listed in this scroll by tomorrow morning. Succeed and you'll graduate. Naruto's heart pounded with a mixture of excitement and anxiety. He reached out tentatively and touched the scroll. As his fingers made contact, a window popped up in his vision, startling him. Skill absorbed asterisk. Shadow Clone Jutsu 100 out of 1000. Shadow Shuriken Jutsu 100 of 1000. Mutually multiplying explosive tags 100/1000. Edo Tensai prerequisites not met. Hiraishin prerequisites not met. Shiki Fuin prerequisites not met. Infinite Darkness prerequisites not met. Naruto's eyes widened in disbelief. His gamer ability had absorbed multiple skills from the scroll in an instant. Among them was the Shadow Clone Jutsu, a more advanced version of the very technique that had eluded him for so long. Hiding his shock, Naruto focused on the task at hand. Concentrating his chakra, he performed the hand signs he had just learned. Akage Bunshin no Jutsu, he exclaimed. In a puff of smoke, two clones appeared beside him, each a perfect replica. Hiruzen examined the clones closely, his expression shifting from curiosity to satisfaction. Impressive, Naruto. To master the Shadow Clone Jutsu on your first try, and with such precision. Naruto looked at his clones, a feeling of triumph washing over him. His journey at the academy, filled with struggles and challenges, had led him to this moment of success. Very well then, Naruto, Hiruzen said with a warm smile. Congratulations on becoming a genin. Report for your team assignment in the morning. As Naruto left the Hokage's office, the scroll tucked safely under his arm, he felt a surge of pride and excitement. He had overcome the odds, proven himself, and unlocked abilities he had never imagined possible. The revelation of his heritage and the burden of the Kyuubi weighed on him, but in that moment, Naruto Uzumaki felt ready to face whatever the future held. With newfound skills, a clearer understanding of his past, and a Konoha headband resting on his forehead, Naruto stepped into the night, his heart full of dreams and determination. The next chapter of his journey was just beginning, and he couldn't wait to see where it would take him. In the stillness of his apartment, Naruto lay in bed, his eyes fixed on the photograph of Kushina Uzumaki, his mother. The revelation of his lineage, his burden as the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, and the truth about his parents weighed heavily on his young shoulders. The room was silent, but his mind was a tumult of emotions and thoughts. He turned his gaze towards the ceiling, contemplating his future team at the academy. Who would he be paired with? Would they understand the journey he had been through? The question swirled in his mind unanswered. His thoughts then drifted to the new jutsu he had acquired. His gamer interface had now segregated them into a separate tab, distinct from his skills. He pondered over the Shadow Clone Jutsu, marveling at its potential. The ability to create perfect clones, each sharing his chakra equally, opened up new avenues for training and combat. The return of chakra from the dispelled clones was an added bonus, a tactical advantage he looked forward to utilizing. The Kage Shuriken Jutsu, while simpler, still fascinated him. The cost of 2 CP per kunai or shuriken seemed a small price for the strategic edge it provided. But it was the mutually multiplying explosive seals that truly intrigued and somewhat unnerved him. Tied to his Fuinjutsu skill, the jutsu allowed him to create explosive tags directly from his skin, costing him both chakra and a bit of his health. The sensation was uncomfortable, a reminder of the power and risk inherent in the jutsu. Amidst these reflections, Naruto realized he had unlocked the basic ninjutsu, intermediate skill, which had immediately progressed to 100/500. His growth as a ninja was evident, but so were the new challenges and responsibilities that came with it. Most significantly, the mysterious question mark in his special modifiers had been replaced by a Kyubi Jinchuriki and Uzumaki heritage. These labels brought clarity but also a deeper understanding of his unique strengths and the challenges he faced. The immense chakra reserves and difficulty in control were now contextualized, a part of his heritage as an Uzumaki and the Jinchuriki of the Kyubi. Naruto's eyes returned to the photograph of Kushina. In her, he saw not just a face from the past, but a connection to a history he was only beginning to understand. He was the legacy of two remarkable lineages, and with this knowledge came a renewed sense of purpose. As the night deepened, Naruto lay there, a young ninja at the cusp of a new chapter in his life. His journey had been unlike any others, marked by trials and revelations that had shaped him in profound ways. He was Naruto Uzumaki, the Kyubi Jinchuriki, the last of the Uzumaki in Konoha, and a budding ninja with dreams as vast as the night sky. With each passing moment, he was growing not just in skill, but in understanding of who he was and what he was meant to be.